Yo, what's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Become a member of the channel to access more content, the link is in the description. 5SV, Chapter 100 Top 2 on the kill list, Deserter King Coby. Vinsmoke Sanji. He took advantage of Nami and Robin-san by relying on his status as a child. This little brat named Momonosuke deserves to die. Brook. That's right, especially the wretched and smug look he showed when he just turned around in the video. I wanted to strangle him to death. Although I'm just a skeleton and don't have a heart, yo-ho-ho-ho. Gall D. Roger. Good fellow. Is this really Momonosuke? How did he become a little pervert? Kazuki Oden. How did my son become like this? Who did he take after? Kazuki Toki. Momonosuke was not like this when he was a child. How did he become like this? Is he still my son? Kazuki Hiyori. Brother Momonosuke looks exactly like those disgusting men. Kawamatsu. Although I want to defend His Highness Momonosuke, saying that he is just a child and does not understand these things between men and women, and that the things in the video may be completely unintentional actions of His Highness Momonosuke, but judging from His Highness Momonosuke's smug expression in the video, it is obvious that he does not understand these things. Those actions just now were completely intentional. Denjiro. Yes, he is completely relying on the convenience of his child status to madly tease the two ladies of the Straw Hat Pirates. This is really too much. Kikunosuke. He is obviously only an 8-year-old child. Why does His Highness Momonosuke have such stubborn thoughts and actions? Kurozumi Orochi. If you ask me, the reason why Momonosuke is like this is completely because he inherited Oden's bad genes. Kazuki Sukiyaki. That seems to be true. Oden started frequenting the red light district of Wano-kuni when he was 6 years old. He is a pervert at such a young age, just like in the video. Kazuki Oden. So Momonosuke inherited this from me. Kazuki Toki. Oden, you started frequenting the red light district of Wano-kuni when you were 6 years old. I really misjudged you. Kazuki Hiyori. So Momonosuke inherited this perverted nature from his father. As expected, no man is good. Even Momonosuke and his father are the same. Kaido. I said that you Kazuki family are not good either. Charlotte Linlin. Well, no wonder the first person on the list of must-kills in sailing is Kazuki Oden's son. This video and those comments really don't wrong him. Sengoku. He is so lustful at such a young age, and he takes advantage of his status as a child to do whatever he wants. This guy named Momonosuke is really bad. Sakazuki. For a guy like this, I think he should be killed when he is still a child, so that he won't cause trouble when he grows up. Vinsmoke Sanji. I agree. Although I don't agree with what Akainu said before, I absolutely agree with this sentence. Brook. I agree too. Why can he take advantage of his status as a child to do whatever he wants, but we can't? Am I not also a child in his 80s? On the viewing screen, the video continues to play. From Punk Hazard to Dressrosa. Similar scenes in the previous video often happen. Relying on the fact that he is still a child, Momonosuke often takes a bath and sleeps with Nami and Robin. He also takes this opportunity to take advantage of them. He pretended to be very innocent and pitiful in front of Nami and Robin. Therefore, the two women did not think that there was anything wrong with his behavior. But his behavior, it made Sanji, Brook and Kanamon very angry. Whenever they saw Momonosuke doing those things as a matter of course. The three of them wanted to beat him up. With Nami's support, Momonosuke was not afraid of the threats of the three people at all. Instead, he became more and more aggressive. Even after each time he took advantage of the three people, he would show off in front of the three people. After everyone sailed for a while, finally, they successfully arrived at Dressrosa. Everyone else landed on the island and carried out their own actions. And Nami, Chopper, Brook and Momonosuke stayed on the Sunny to guard the ship. In the process of guarding the ship, Nami and Chopper had to cooperate with Momonosuke. Played the game of master and servant. Momonosuke played the general. Chopper played Momonosuke's attendant. Nami plays the maid of Momonosuke. Both of them must obey Momonosuke's orders and do everything he says. Momonosuke even lays on Nami's thighs as if it were natural. He enjoys the treatment of a beautiful woman's lap pillow and Nami fanning him. Not only that, Momonosuke also asks Brook to play music for him. He looks like a general who has really regarded himself as a superior general. The picture freezes here. A dense army of bullet comments floated by. Damn, Lousy really gets angry when he sees Momonosuke's face. Does he really think he is a general? How dare he order Nami, Chopper and Brook around like this? Luffy and Kinemon are fighting wits and courage with the enemy on the island, but Momonosuke is playing a master-servant game here. Every time he encounters a little danger and difficulty, Momonosuke only knows how to solve the problem by crying. I am next door to you. I suspect that all of Momonosuke's IQ is used on how to pretend to be pitiful and innocent, and how to find ways to take advantage of others. I really want to slap this little brat to death. I don't like Oden, that idiot, and now he has another reason for me to hate him, that is, he gave birth to Momonosuke, a damn thing. Speaking of Oden, this person is even more heaven-defying. Momonosuke is 8 years old now, and Oden was only 6 years old when he frequently visited Wano-kuni's red light district. He is simply a born pervert. I have to say that Kazuki Oden's family is like a mentally ill person. But to be honest, I really envy Momonosuke, who can take advantage of Nami and Shuanshi so openly. I also want to have such treatment. Indeed, it is precisely because we cannot enjoy such treatment, and Momonosuke, this beast, can enjoy it, that he is even more hateful and deserves to die. Again, I don't have to be the pirate king, but Momonosuke must die. Even if I am dead and nailed in the coffin, I will shout in the grave with this rotten vocal cords, Momonosuke must die. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. The camera switches. The picture jumps quickly, from Dressrosa to Zou, and then from Zou to Wano-kuni. Momonosuke has never changed his bad habits. He took advantage of Nami and Robin whenever he had the chance. He would cry and make a scene whenever he encountered a little danger or difficulty, and wanted to retreat. Luffy once said to Momonosuke that he hated him as a coward. Momonosuke, who was humiliated and angry, directly wrestled with Luffy. After realizing that he couldn't beat Luffy at all, he cried and went to Nami's arms to complain and seek comfort. The picture freezes. The barrage of comments passed again. Good guy. I can only say good guy. Momonosuke is really. I am submissive to outsiders, but I hit my own people hard. He still has to rely on Luffy to help him defeat Kaido and liberate Wano-kuni. How dare he fight with Luffy? Luffy is Momonosuke's savior after all. If it weren't for Luffy, he would have died in Punk Hazard long ago. So Momonosuke treats his savior like this. He is simply an ungrateful BD. If Luffy didn't really intend to make a fuss with Momonosuke, Luffy can punch Momonosuke's brains out with one punch. Don't tell me, I really want to see the scene of Momonosuke's brains being punched out. It must be very satisfying. I really want to get into the screen and kill this rising Dongzi with my own hands. Right, I agree. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. The video continues to play. The camera switches. The scene quickly comes to the time of the Wano-kuni Onigashima battle. On the night of the fire festival, Momonosuke was captured by the undercover Kanjuro, and was presented to Kaido. In the scene, in front of the beast's pirates, one hand easily lifted Momonosuke up. The palm tightly pinched the opponent's neck. Then he said some words to humiliate Oden and Momonosuke and his son. Momonosuke was pinched by Kaido. The whole person was scared and cried. He kept mumbling, "It hurts. It hurts. I can't breathe. I'm going to die." But at the critical moment, the Straw Hat crew and the samurai rushed to the venue of Onigashima. They saved Momonosuke from Kaido in time. Then Momonosuke kept running around with the help of a ninja. The two met Yamato halfway, in order to help Momonosuke escape from the pursuit of the beast's pirates. The wealthy and generous Yamato even let Momonosuke hide in his clothes. Momonosuke just got into his arms. He had a close skin-to-skin contact with Yamato. Kaido. Damn it, this brat even took advantage of Lousy's daughter. Charlotte Linlin. Kaido, how are you? Do you regret not being a little more ruthless in the video and strangling that brat to death? Kaido. Regret. Very much. If I were in my current mood, I would definitely let that damn brat take a few thundering 8 trigrams first. Jin. This brat even took advantage of Master Yamato, he is really unforgivable. Quinn. As expected, the offspring of Kazuki Oden is not a good thing. Jack. Damn it, where is this brat named Momonosuke now? Lousy will catch him and kill him now to vent his anger for Kaido. Kazuki Toki. How could my child become like this in the future? It really disappoints me as a mother. Kazuki Momonosuke. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. As the Battle of Onigashima continues. After witnessing the bloody battles of the Straw Hat Pirates, the 9 Red Scabbards, and the Samurai, Momonosuke finally changed. He wanted to contribute his own strength to this war. So he asked Nin to use the power of the ripe fruit to ripen himself to the age of 28. Momonosuke was finally able to transform into an adult pink dragon. And no longer the young dragon that was only 1 or 2 meters long before. Afterwards, Momonosuke flew back to the roof of Onigashima with Luffy, who fell on Onigashima. Under Luffy's instructions, worked with Yamato to find a way to stop Onigashima from falling. At the last moment when Kaido was defeated, Momonosuke finally succeeded in summoning the flame cloud, towing the falling Onigashima, and after the Battle of Onigashima, Momonosuke also successfully became the general of Wano Kuni. Start to take charge of and govern the country. The picture freezes here. The army of bullet comments floats by again. Momonosuke actually became the general of Wano Kuni so naturally. To be honest, I think he is a little unworthy of the position. Yeah, why can this guy be the general of Wano Kuni? It's just because his last name is Kazuki. Although Momonosuke has indeed grown up a little along the way, and he successfully prevented the fall of Onigashima at the last moment, this does not prevent him from still not being worthy of the position of Wano Kuni. General. I think the character of Momonosuke is well shaped. I personally like him and am willing to cheer for him, but it is better for you to die when you are supposed to die to make me feel refreshed. Dog Head Worker. I suggest that Momonosuke sacrifice heroically for the founding of Wano Kuni to sublimate the character image, Dog Head. That's right. I think the best ending for Momonosuke is to sacrifice heroically for the liberation of Wano Kuni. If he dies heroically for Wano Kuni, then I will recognize his courage and never say Momonosuke must die again. Go to Jong. Haha, my friend above, you are really calculating. You have to wait until someone is really dead before you stop saying he must die, right? Go to. As long as Momonosuke is alive, I will keep shouting, Momonosuke must die. So, in order to let Momonosuke get rid of our good wishes for him to die, it's better for him to die directly. Mao Tu Ding. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Vinsmoke Sanji. I agree with the suggestions of these comments. It's better to let Momonosuke, the damn brat, die. Brook. I agree too. Don't worry, kid, death is nothing to be afraid of. After all, I have already died once, yohohoho. Momonosuke. Galdi Roger. Will Momonosuke become the new general of Wano Kuni in the future? Then I'm worried about Wano Kuni's future, ha ha ha. Edward Newgate. It's a pity that Oden died too early, otherwise he should have disciplined Momonosuke to prevent him from becoming what he will be like in the future. Closing square bracket. Sengoku. Come on, let Oden discipline that brat. Don't forget what kind of person Oden is. He frequented red light districts when he was only 6 years old. If he disciplines that brat, won't it make him worse? Sakazuki. That's why I said that people with bad blood and bad behavior should be wiped out early. Such people are a huge disaster in the world. Kazuki Oden. Humph. I can teach my own son myself, I don't need you to point fingers at him here. Rox D. Zebek. You can teach yourself. How can you teach when you're already dead? Do you want that brat to die too and come down to accompany you? Ha ha ha. Kazuki Oden. Kazuki Momonosuke. Just as everyone was discussing fiercely. On the viewing screen, the inventory of Momonosuke has all ended. The screen fell into darkness again. But it didn't last long. Soon, a low voiceover sounded again. The second beast on the list of Sayla's must-kills, Coby. Coby. Chapter 101. The ungrateful and ungrateful person. The Deserter King's true colors are revealed for the first time. Kirby. How come this guy ranked second on the sailing must-kill list has the same name as mine? Balloomber. Kirby, is there a possibility that the Kirby in the video is talking about you? Kirby. Impossible. I am a righteous marine soldier. How could I be on this sailing must-kill list for no reason? Monkey D. Garp. Yes, although Coby is a little timid, he is still kind. The Coby on the sailing must-kill list should just happen to be a second-class friend of him, right? Coby. That must be right. My goal is to become a marine admiral, to uphold justice, and to fight crime. I have never done anything bad, so how could I be on this sailing must-kill list? Just as Coby was saying this in the movie chat group, inside the movie screen, on the originally dark screen, a figure slowly emerged. This is a boy with pink hair, wearing a marine uniform. He has a yellow handkerchief tied on his head. He also has a pair of blue round frame glasses on top of the handkerchief. It is exactly what Coby looks like now. Coby, Balloonbeer, Monkey D. Garp, Monkey D. Luffy, Coby. How could this be? Isn't the person on the screen me? This means, the beast who ranks second on the sailing must-kill list, is actually me. Balloonbeer. No, Coby, even that lecherous kid Momonosuke is only ranked third, and you are ranked second on this sailing must-kill list. What on earth have you done to make people and gods angry? Monkey D. Garp. It shouldn't be. Coby is my disciple. From what I have observed for such a long time, his character is quite upright. There should be no reason for him to be selected as a beast on the sailing must-kill list. Borsalino. Vice Admiral Garp, you can't be so absolute. Wasn't Kuzan also your disciple? In the end, didn't he betray Marine, join the Blackbeard pirates in the future? Kuzan. Borsalino, can you stop bringing up this issue? It's been so long since this happened, and you're still stabbing me in the back. Monkey D. Luffy. The second beast on the list of wood expulsion is Coby. What the hell is going on? Sakazuki. As a soldier of the naval headquarters, he actually ranked second on the list of wood expulsion. You're simply embarrassing us, the naval headquarters. Sengoku. Our naval headquarters soldier ranked second on the list of wood expulsion. What on earth did this soldier named Coby do? It seems that we need to pay attention to his behavior again. Crane. If this marine named Coby really has a problem with his behavior, either discipline him strictly or kick him out directly. Marine. Coby. No, I really didn't do anything. This viewing system must have made a mistake. How could I, a righteous marine, be on this list? Rox D. Zebek. Little guy, I advise you to save your energy. You are not the first one to cry out for injustice, and the fact is that this viewing system never wrongs anyone. John. That's right, those who cried out for injustice or thought that the viewing system was wrong were all slapped in the face by the viewing system. Silver Axe. Stop making unnecessary excuses. Since this viewing system says that you are the second on the sailing must-kill list, then you must be plus. Akoku. I am quite curious. How did a self-proclaimed righteous marine get the second place on this sailing must-kill list? Inside the viewing screen, the video officially starts playing. Coby was born in the kingdom of Satsuluso in East Blue. Originally, he was just a timid, ordinary, short and fat boy. During a fishing trip, he boarded the wrong ship due to an accident and mistake. He was unfortunately captured by the pirate Alvida. Since then, he has been a handyman on the ship of the Alvida pirates. Due to his timid and cowardly character, in addition to his short and fat body and weak fighting ability, Coby naturally became the target of bullying by the Alvida pirates. Facing the oppression of the pirates, Coby did not dare to resist at all. He could only endure it silently. Alvida would always ask Coby from time to time, "Ask the other party who is the most beautiful woman in this sea." Under the tyranny of Alvida, Coby could only answer against his conscience every time that the other party is the most beautiful woman in the world. Such flattery made Alvida very happy, but it made Coby feel very disgusted. Such a life. Let Coby feel hopeless in life. Things soon took a turn for the better. One day, Alvida's two men salvaged a huge barrel from the sea. They thought it contained some fine wine or treasure. They were looking forward to opening it to see what was inside. But at this moment, the wooden barrel was suddenly shattered from the inside out. A boy wearing a straw hat jumped out of the barrel. It was Luffy, who had just gone out to sea and encountered a shipwreck. The two pirates saw Luffy jumping out of the barrel. They attacked each other in panic. But they were easily defeated by Luffy the next second. And this scene was like a god descending to earth. Coby happened to see it completely. After seeing Luffy's powerful strength, Kobe's heart Chunin couldn't help but have some admiration for him. He followed Luffy to the room where the Alvida pirates stored food. Luffy started eating without hesitation. Coby watched him eat like crazy. He started a conversation with him. During the conversation, Luffy said his classic line, "I am the man who wants to become the Pirate King." After hearing Luffy's words, Coby immediately lost his composure. He said to Luffy in disbelief, "What? The Pirate King is the one who can get the world's greatest treasure. Lightite, are you going to find the great treasure that contains wealth, fame and power One Piece? That is the treasure that pirates all over the world are fighting for. You will die." After hearing Koby's words, Luffy replied nonchalantly, "Even so, I will fight for it." Coby had an expression of disbelief on his face, and shook his head vigorously and walked. 014512413 Fulu 1814203050. No, impossible. You will never succeed. You actually want to become the Pirate King in this great pirate era. This is absolutely impossible. Coby shook his head vigorously, repeating the three words, "impossible," in his mouth. The next moment, Luffy's fist landed hard on Koby's head. He was knocked to the ground and rolled over with his head in his hands. "It hurts. Why did you hit me?" Luffy said as a matter of course. "I just suddenly wanted to hit you." Coby got up from the ground, not daring to get angry, but whispered timidly, "It's okay, forget it. Anyway, I'm used to it." On the opposite side, Luffy said again with a very serious look, "I'm not afraid of death. I have decided to become the Pirate King. Even if I lose my life for it, I will do it." Quote. Although it is difficult, I believe I can do it. The boy's words contained firm belief and determination. Hearing this, Coby was stunned. What a great determination. You are not afraid of death. I have never even thought about it. Coby stared at the figure of the boy in front of him. Tears suddenly flowed from his eyes involuntarily. He murmured in a low voice, "Can I do it too? People like me can first join Marine." Marine. Luffy looked at him in confusion. Coby nodded heavily and shouted, "Although I will become your enemy, but joining Marine will make me stronger. Catch all the bad guys. This is my dream since I was a child." The picture freezes here. A large army of comments floated by. "Here he comes. Luffy's first little fanboy has appeared." Because of Luffy's words, Coby has instantly become his little fanboy. Under the influence of Luffy's ardent dream and firm belief, even a timid guy like Coby can speak out his dream loudly. To be honest, Coby at this time is actually quite normal, just an ordinary person who is timid and afraid of death, has no background and no ability. Closing square bracket. Yeah, I don't know when Coby started to become more and more annoying, and even finally confirmed the title of Deserter King. If I had known that Coby would do so many disgusting things later, I would have let Alvida sit on him to death now. FK. Being sat on by Alvida to death. Such a harsh punishment. Haha. Being sat on by Alvida to death before eating the slippery fruit is a punishment, but what if Alvida is sat on by Alvida to death after eating the slippery fruit? Dog head. No. How can you reward Coby, a beast on the list of sailing must-kills, like this? Dog head. Opening square bracket. Closing square bracket. Alvida. Coby. Deserter King. Why do these comments say I am a deserter king? I have never been a deserter. Baramelber. Maybe these comments are talking about things that will happen in the future. Monkey D. Garp. I'm really confused. How did a little guy who said his dream was to catch all the bad guys become the second on the list of sailing killers certified by this video? Sakazuki. Didn't the comments just say that? This guy named Coby will be known as the Deserter King in the future. For a soldier, being a deserter is definitely one of the most shameful behaviors. Monkey D. Luffy. Deserter. Although Coby is timid, he shouldn't do such a thing. It's really strange. Roronoa Zoro. Is it just like that? He still hasn't made any progress like before. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play one. Under the influence of Luffy, Coby also spoke out his dream loudly. But the next moment he shouted this sentence. Alvida brought a group of men to find Luffy and Coby. As usual, Alvida once again questioned Coby. Asked the other party who was the most beautiful woman in the sea. However, this time, Coby did not answer against his conscience as before. Instead, he mustered up the courage to scold Alvida as an old, ugly and fat woman. Such an answer made Alvida very angry. He was ready to teach Coby a lesson. However, Luffy was amused by Coby's behavior. And he easily knocked Alvida away with one blow. After that, Coby followed Luffy to Shield's town. In this small town governed by Axeman, Monka, Luffy successfully found his first partner, Zoro, and defeated Monka together, ended Monka's brutal rule over this marine base. Coby saw all of this. He admired Luffy more and more in his heart. Soon, Luffy and Zoro were ready to leave and continue sailing. Coby chose to stay in Shield's town. He wanted to join the marine here. But when asked about his relationship with Luffy, the pirate, Coby hesitated for a long time and couldn't answer. Because he was afraid that his relationship with Luffy would be known by the marine. He would also be considered an accomplice of Luffy, the pirate. And thus his request to join the marine would be rejected. But at this moment, Luffy on the side suddenly spoke. He mercilessly revealed Coby's previous experience in the Alvida pirates. This made Coby very surprised and angry. Because what Luffy said, it is also possible that the Marines in Shield's town would think that he was once a pirate. And thus would not accept him. Coby anxiously wanted Luffy to shut up. However, Luffy talked more and became more and more excited of the season. Furious, Coby punched Luffy in the face. And Luffy also took the opportunity to beat him up. He didn't stop until someone separated them. Such a scene successfully made the Marines in Shield's town believe that Coby had nothing to do with pirates. So he agreed to the other party's request to join the marine very straightforwardly. It was only then that Coby realized. It turned out that everything Luffy did just now was to deliberately provoke him. So that he could fight him. In order to get rid of the suspicion of colluding with pirates. Coby was deeply moved after understanding this. But at this time, Luffy had already left with Zoro. The picture freezes here. The army of barges passed by again. Luffy's famous high EQ scene. I have to say, although Luffy usually looks stupid, he has a really high EQ sometimes. Indeed, I feel like I will never be able to learn his high EQ operation in my lifetime. Luffy. They all say I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid at all, because most of the time I'm very smart. Same confident expression as Boa. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect Boa to use this on Luffy, and it didn't feel out of place. On the other hand, Coby, this guy doesn't seem to be very good in terms of EQ or character. Luffy is Coby's savior. If it weren't for Luffy, Uombi might have died at Alvida's hand at some point. Closing square bracket. However, Luffy just provoked Coby casually, but Coby actually fought against his savior. It turns out that Coby is actually the same as Momonosuke before, a white-eyed wolf who would attack his savior. Looking back at this scene now, I realized that Coby had already shown his potential as a deserter king at this time. Isn't it? Expecting an ungrateful white-eyed wolf to become a qualified justice marine in the future. This is simply an impossible thing. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket ... Chapter 102. Rebellion against Tien Gang. The cowardly deserter condemned the fighting general. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Luffy and Zoro left Shield's town. Coby also joined Marine successfully because of this. He started as a handyman at the bottom. He worked with him, and there was Monka's son, Belmber. Not long after, Marine Vice Admiral Garp came to Shield's town to take the prisoner Monka. However, when Monka was brought to Garp by Marine, Garp actually fell asleep standing there. Monka seized the opportunity to chop Garp down with an axe. Then he took his own son Belmber hostage and boarded a small boat to escape. Seeing this, the Marine soldiers immediately aimed their guns at the boat where Monka was. They were ready to fire to stop the other party from escaping. Coby, who didn't want to see Belmber also implicated and killed in the sea of fire. He mustered up his courage and jumped into the sea. He swam towards the small boat in front of him without hesitation. After a lot of effort, they finally succeeded in rescuing Belber. Coby's actions also made Garp look at him differently. In the end, it was decided to bring both Coby and Belber back to the naval headquarters for training. The picture freezes. The barrage passed by. Appeared. Axe King Monk, the man who injured Garp with an axe. You may not believe it, but the marine hero Garp was actually chopped to the ground by a small marine captain from East Blue. Why not believe it? Do you understand the value of me, Axe King Monk, one of the 13 guardians of East Blue? Dog head. Hee. I am not worthy of the title of Axe Suppression Monk. Dog head. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Sengoku. Isn't the action of this Coby in the video quite brave? Crane. Yes, in order to prevent innocent people from being affected, he actually mustered up the courage to catch up with Monk's ship alone. This courage and kindness are indeed quite precious. Monkey D. Garp. It was precisely because of this point that I took a fancy to him that I brought him back to the naval headquarters to observe and plan to teach him personally. Kuzan. Allah, but why did he become the deserter king in the comments? It's really hard to understand. Sakazuki. Kuzan. You should first figure out why you will betray Marine and join the Blackbeard pirates in the future. Pulsily. I seem to smell a strong smell of gunpowder. Kuzan. In the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Coby, 637 and Belmer were taken back to naval headquarters. After Garp's inspection, finally, they succeeded in gaining the other party's recognition, and received personal instruction from this legendary marine hero. In the days that followed, Coby has been practicing very hard. His strength has also improved very rapidly. During this period, Coby was also taken by Garp to meet Luffy at Water 7. Coby was excited to compete with Luffy. The result was a crushing defeat as expected. However, Coby was not disappointed. He even told Luffy about his dream of becoming a Marine Admiral. Luffy was very happy to hear that. He encouraged him and said that he believed he would be able to realize his dream. This inspired Coby. After returning, he continued to practice harder. Then the camera turned. The scene quickly came to the Summit War. The Great War between naval headquarters and Whitebeard pirates. The once peaceful Marineford has become a battlefield filled with gunpowder. The sound of gunfire and fighting is endless. One marine or pirate after another falls. The ground has long been stained with blood, a crimson color. Looking at this hellish scene in front of him, Coby's heart is full of fear. He dared not rush forward to fight with the pirates. He was afraid that he would die in this war like other marine soldiers. This made Coby couldn't help but think of becoming a deserter. However, he was just about to take action. He happened to see the scene of Admiral Akainu executing 2 deserters on the spot. Coby was frightened by this scene. He had no choice but to give up the idea of being a deserter. Return to the battlefield. But even if he returned to the battlefield, Coby still did not charge and kill the enemy like other marine soldiers. Instead, he hid far away. He never dared to step forward. His face was full of fear and cowardice. He was even scared to the point of crying. Until Luffy appeared. Coby looked at Luffy, who was charging recklessly on the battlefield, completely disregarding life and death. The courage and fighting spirit in his heart were finally inspired again. He looked at Luffy, who was already panting and covered in wounds, but never retreated. He said to himself in his heart, "No, I must fight too, otherwise I will never be able to change myself. This is a battlefield. Quote. Kill that person. BDFG, he thought so in his heart. Coby finally mustered up the courage to take a step forward. He rushed forward recklessly. He stood in front of Luffy. The picture freezes here. A dense army of bullet comments emerged. Opening square bracket ? Closing square bracket. Good fellow. I really don't understand what Coby is doing. When other Marines were fighting bravely and bloody, he actually wanted to be a deserter. If he hadn't been frightened by the scene of Akainu executing deserters, he would have probably already run away to somewhere and hid like a turtle, right? Even though he was frightened by Akainu and didn't become a deserter in the end, he still hid at the back of the battlefield and didn't do anything. With such a cowardly look, he still has the nerve to say that his dream is to become a Marine Admiral. If all Marine admirals were like Coby, then the naval headquarters would have been finished long ago. More importantly, Luffy's performance on the battlefield once again inspired Coby, and he finally mustered up his courage. I originally thought that he was finally going to fight the enemy, but unexpectedly he ran to stop Luffy. Luffy. So I was encouraging you to kill me, right? Dog head. Coby's behavior is really a mystery, it's quite disgusting. If he was inspired by Luffy and then mustered up the courage to fight the Whitebeard pirates, I could still praise him for correcting his mistakes and turning over a new leaf. Closing square bracket. But after being inspired by Luffy, he didn't fight with the Whitebeard pirates, but chose to stop Luffy who inspired him. Isn't this a complete beast? A total ungrateful wolf. Hee. I think the reason why he was able to muster up the courage to stop Luffy is because he knows his relationship with Luffy. Luffy will definitely not kill him, but the people in the Whitebeard pirates may not be the same. How can he be brave? He is just looking at others for his own advantage. He. An ungrateful wolf. He. A selfish and cowardly deserter king. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Rocks D. Zebek. Ha. These comments are really fierce, the attack power is good, I like it very much T. Shiki. I seem to understand why those comments say that this marine named Coby is a deserter, ha. Monkey D. Garp. Wasn't Coby very brave when he saved Belmer before? How come he suddenly became such a coward when he really went to the battlefield? Sengoku. Other soldiers were fighting bloody battles, but he was hiding in the distance and was afraid to step forward. This really hurts the reputation of our marine soldiers, so disappointing. Borsellino. He is not always so timid, at least he still mustered up the courage to choose to punch the Straw Hat Boy. Kuzan. Allah, his behavior makes people look down on him even more. Sakazuki. A guy like this who dares not to fight in the battlefield and only wants to be a deserter in the face of the war is not worthy of being a marine. I think it's better to execute him as soon as possible, so as not to drag our marines down in the future. Jat. Rorano Azoro. Coby, that guy, doesn't dare to fight, but he actually stood up to stop Luffy at this critical moment. I don't know what he was thinking. Usopp. Luffy is his savior. In the video, Luffy was obviously anxious to save his brother, but he actually jumped out to make things difficult for Luffy, it's really disgusting. Nami. Yes, even if he had been hiding behind cowardly, I wouldn't say anything to him, but he didn't dare to attack other pirates, but only dared to stop Luffy. This is really unreasonable. Vinsmoke Sanji. Maybe as the previous comments said, he calculated that Luffy would not kill him, so he dared to stand up to stop him. If Luffy was replaced by someone else, he would probably have hidden far away. Kaido. So the Straw Hat Boy saved an ungrateful person, but he stabbed him in the back like crazy. Charlotte Linlin. Even we pirates know how to be kind and righteous, but this marine named Coby is an ungrateful person again and again, attacking the Straw Hat Boy who saved him, which is really despicable. Alvida. What do you think, Straw Hat Boy, are you starting to regret saving Coby from me? Monkey D. Luffy. I won't regret anything I've done. No matter what Coby does, it's his choice. I respect his choice and I don't blame him. Coby. Luffy. I'm sorry. Marshall D. Teach. Tisk. The Straw Hat Boy is really naive and scary. No wonder he was betrayed by others again and again. He deserves it. Ha. Inside the movie screen, the video continues to play. Looking at Coby who suddenly blocked his way, Luffy yelled at him to get out of the way. However, Coby seemed to have made up his mind. No matter how Luffy tried to dissuade him, he refused to get out of the way. He even took the initiative to launch Shave, one of the Marine 6 styles, and took the initiative to attack Luffy. Seeing this, Luffy, who only wanted to save Ace, naturally did not hold back. Without hesitation, he directly punched Coby in the face, easily killed him instantly. Then he continued to move forward without looking back, and Coby fainted after being hit by Luffy's punch. Barumber anxiously moved him to a place far away from the battlefield, always guarding him. The picture freezes. Barrage of comments. Great job, Luffy. I felt so good with this punch. To deal with such an ungrateful BD, you should give him a good beating. A loser who couldn't even withstand a punch from Luffy, and had the nerve to come up and stop Luffy, and even threaten to kill Luffy. I think Luffy's punch was too light, if he could just punch Coby's head off. Yeah, Luffy is still too merciful, he should have hit harder. He fainted after just one punch from Luffy, what a loser. I even suspect that Coby was pretending to be unconscious, so that he could just lie on the ground and fish without having to charge forward to kill the enemy. Closing square bracket. FK. Don't tell me, with Coby's cowardly character, he might really do such a thing. Hetui. Deserter King, so disgusting. Opening square bracket. Closing square bracket. The video continues to play. When Coby wakes up from his coma, this summit war has come to an end. Both Ace and Whitebeard have died in the battle. The Whitebeard pirates are in disarray. They are retreating in a panic. The naval headquarters, led by Admiral Akainu, is pursuing the victory. They want to take this opportunity to catch all the pirates in one fell swoop. The Marines are full of fighting spirit, and the more they fight, the heavier their strength becomes. The pirates' counterattack before death is also extremely fierce. For a while, the fighting on the field became more brutal. More and more soldiers fell down with blood. Coby, who woke up from his coma, looked at the scene in front of him. He felt that his whole body was hit by a huge impact. Looking at the figures that fell one after another, listening to the fighting and screams that kept echoing in his ears, Coby suddenly raised his hand to cover his head. A painful expression like constipation appeared on his face. Tears kept flowing from his eyes. Quote. Is it hell? He couldn't accept what he saw. The endless screams were constantly amplified in his perception. His head was buzzing, as if it would explode at any time. Barumber, who was standing by, saw this. He asked Coby with some concern if he was okay. But Coby ignored him at all. He just cried and wailed with his head in his arms. It didn't know how long it took. Marine's advantage was getting bigger and bigger. The pirates were getting more and more defeated. Even the captain of the 10th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, Khalil, fell at Akainu's feet. Just as Akainu was about to deal a fatal blow to Khalil, Coby suddenly rushed forward like crazy. He opened his arms to block Akainu. He protected Khalil behind him. He cried out to Akainu with tears in his eyes. Let's stop here. Coby's action made Akainu pause. His almost hysterical shouting instantly attracted the attention of the whole audience. Coby's expression on his face was extremely ugly at this moment. Tears and snot kept flowing down. His whole face was a little deformed because of his excessive emotions. He looked at Akainu in front of him. Continue to shout hysterically. Stop. Stop fighting. Stop now. Stop trampling on lives. Every soldier has a family waiting for them to go home. We have clearly achieved our goal, haven't we? Why do we have to endlessly hunt down pirates who have lost their fighting spirit? Why do we have to continue this war that could have been stopped? Faced with soldiers who could have been saved if they were treated, we let them die. On the contrary, the number of casualties continues to increase. GZ. Those soldiers who keep falling down. Aren't they all just like fools? Coby's hysterical screams echoed on the battlefield. His whole body was shaking with extreme fear. Tears and snot were intertwined on his face. His expression was uglier than a dead horse. The picture was frozen here. Then, dense bullet comments emerged again. Insults and criticisms against the deserter King Coby began. Chapter 103. Everyone denounces and condemns. Virgin BCH Coby, a shame to Marine. On the frozen picture, there is Coby's tearful face. And dense barrages of comments were constantly floating over it. Opening square bracket ? Closing square bracket. Damn, Coby, you beast, do you want to listen to what you are saying? Here it comes. The idiot and cerebral palsy of the deserter king is coming. What kind of top-level saintly BCH is this? Coby's words really made me laugh. Isn't it your marine's duty to destroy the pirates? How come this BD is trampling on life? Coby, the deserter king, doesn't dare to fight the enemy himself, but now he wants to stop other Marines from killing the enemy. For Marines, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to wipe out the Whitebeard pirates, but Coby actually stood up and sang the opposite tune, asking everyone to stop the war. I'll stop you. On the battlefield, Coby spread rumors and shook the morale of the army. This guy is simply a cancer in the Marines. He doesn't deserve to be a Marine. He only saw the injured Marines and wanted to get them treated as soon as possible, but did he ever think that those Marines were prepared to die when they joined the battle? No way. Could it be that Coby thought that all Marines were as afraid of death as he, the deserter king? Coby's remarks sounded high-sounding and made sense, but in fact they were just hypocritical. Has he ever thought about how many pirates would be let go by his actions? Those are pirates, vicious and cruel people who kill without blinking an eye. These pirates were let go because of him. When they regained their freedom, how many innocent civilians would die at the hands of these vicious pirates? He only thought about saving the lives of those seriously injured Marines, but didn't think about how many civilians would die because of his actions. Civilians. Coby, thank you so much for your whole family. Akainu at this summit in the war, he tried his best, always rushed to the front, and fought bloody battles. As a result, Coby, a cowardly deserter, actually had the nerve to stand in front of Akainu, the admiral who fought bloody battles and condemned him. Where the hell did he get the nerve to say such a thing? It's better for this idiot to die early. I really want Akainu to punch this disgusting deserter to death. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Dense comments kept floating by. All of them were accusations and insults against Coby. At the same time, the situation in the movie chat group was exactly the same. Sakazuki. This guy actually dared to stop me from chasing the pirates. Is he looking for death? Sengoku. As a Marine soldier, it is really inappropriate to say such a statement that shakes the morale of the army in such an important war situation. Suru. The nature and impact of his remarks are much more serious than him deserting alone. Monkey D. Garp. Oh, Coby is so confused. Kuzan. Allah. Coby's behavior in the video is quite problematic. Borsellino. Who said it wasn't? I didn't expect that there would be someone in our Marines who would say such a thing. Doberman. This guy called Coby actually thinks that our pursuit of the pirates and killing them is trampling on life. I'm going to FK him. Fire Mountain. The hard-won advantage in the video was earned by the bloody battles of many of our Marines. If we don't seize this opportunity to wipe out the pirates, it will be the greatest insult and trampling on our fallen comrades. Ghost Spider. How could there be such a dishonest Tien Bing in our naval headquarters? Stallo Berry. This guy doesn't deserve to be a Marine. He should be kicked out of naval directly. Headquarters. Dalmesia. No. Whether it is his previous act of desertion or his current action of stopping the Marine from continuing to pursue, it is already a capital crime. I suggest that this guy be executed directly. Flying Squirrel. I agree. If he is not executed now, he may do something else in the future to harm our entire naval headquarters. Gat. Rox D. Zebek. Tisk 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 tisk. I finally understand why this Marine named Coby will surpass the previous Momonosuke and be ranked second on the naval kill list. John. Although I am a pirate, this does not affect my feeling that Coby's behavior in the video is quite stupid and idiotic plus. Silver Axe. Judging from the situation in the video, the naval headquarters has completely taken the upper hand and has a chance to catch the Whitebeard pirates in one fell swoop, without letting any of them escape. As a result, he actually stood up and advised everyone to stop when they should have taken advantage of the victory. Akoku. Ha 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 ha. What kind of cerebral palsy does one have to act and speak like this? Shiki. The behavior of Kizaru, Aokiji and others before, can only be said to be suspected that they may be undercover sent by the pirates, but this behavior and speech of Coby is absolutely undercover behavior. Ha 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 ha. Kaido. Indeed. If he is an undercover on the pirate side, it's okay, but if he is not an undercover, he is speaking from the perspective of Marine. Then he is definitely a complete idiot. Charlotte Linlin. Well, naval headquarters is really unlucky to have such a new deserter. Edward Newgate. Gulala. Although this little guy named Coby in the video helped our pirate group a lot, it doesn't prevent me from thinking that his behavior is no different from an idiot. Gal D. Roger. Ha ha ha. This Marine named Coby is really a talent. Naval headquarters has such a talent, it is a blessing for us pirates. Shanks. Well, indeed, if we look at it from the perspective of our pirates, then he is not a beast on the list of must-kill sailors, but a true good man. Gat. Amidst the accusations and condemnations of Coby by the crowd, inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Looking at Coby, who was screaming hysterically and crying in front of him. Akainu looked indifferent and unhappy. He said with a gloomy face, "Ah, who do you think you are? You wasted several seconds of my time. Marine doesn't need soldiers like you who can't distinguish between good and evil." Said. Akainu directly raised his fist flowing with hot magma. He blasted towards Coby in front of him without hesitation. Exito. Just when Akainu's fist was about to ruthlessly kill Coby, a figure suddenly appeared behind Coby. A long sword was swung by that figure. He stood in front of Coby. He perfectly blocked Akainu's attack for the opponent. It was Shanks. Shanks looked at Coby and said in a deep voice, "Well done, young Marine. You risked your life to create these few seconds of courage. I don't know whether it is good or bad, but there is no doubt that it has greatly changed the fate of this world." Shanks' words are full of meaning. I don't know whether it is a compliment or something else. But no matter what, it has nothing to do with Coby. So at this moment, he had fainted under the shock of Akainu's attack to kill him. He fainted on the ground with foam at the mouth. But no matter what, his life was finally saved. The picture freezes here. The army of bullets passed by again. Alas, Shanks is so confused. Why did you save Coby, the deserter king? Yeah, wouldn't it be better to just let him die directly under Akainu's magma fist? If you keep this deserter king, he will definitely cause trouble to more Marines in the future. I think saving Coby is definitely the most wrong thing Shanks has ever done. I finally understand why Shanks, the face fruit user, was killed by Blackbeard in the last Buggy video. This must be the backlash for saving Coby, the deserter king. That's right. If Shanks didn't save Coby, nothing would have happened later. My biggest regret about Summit War is not that Ace died, nor that Whitebeard died, but that Coby, the damn guy, didn't die. Damn, I get angry when I talk about this. So, in order to heal my inner trauma, can you please let Coby, the beast, die? Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Coby, Shanks. Was the Marine named Coby in the video actually saved by me? But that's right, his actions just now were a bad thing for Marine, but a good thing for us pirates, ha 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 gong. Sakazuki. Humph. Red hair, you are really nosy. If you hadn't been making trouble, this Marine with a distorted value would have been executed by me long ago. Kaido. Red hair, you are indeed a bit nosy this time. Charlotte Linlin. Well, maybe just as those comments said, you will suffer backlash in the future because you saved this saintly BCH deserter king. In the viewing screen, the video continues to play. With the appearance of Shanks and Red Hair pirates, this Summit War soon came to an end. Under Shanks's proposal and Sengoku's agreement, Marine gave up the pursuit of the Whitebeard pirates, began to treat the wounded on the field. The remnants of the Whitebeard pirates and the fugitives of Impel Down were able to leave Marineford smoothly. The whole Summit War. Although Coby did not really participate in the battle with even one pirate, but he was still, honorably, wounded. The main source of the injury was Luffy's punch and the shock from Akainu. But no matter what, Coby was also considered a wounded person. He was carried into the infirmary for treatment. While recovering from his injuries, Coby found that he seemed to be able to hear more sounds than before. Even at a long distance, he could clearly hear those sounds from far away. This made Coby feel a little panic and fear. However, after the explanation of relevant people, he finally understood. It turned out that he was stimulated in the war. Thus, he accidentally awakened the observation haki, one of the Conqueror's haki. After learning this, Coby's mood suddenly changed from fear to surprise. The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments passed by. Jow. Coby is really lucky. This guy didn't contribute at all in the Summit War, and even dragged down a lot of people, but now he has awakened observation haki. No, what right does Coby, the king of deserters, have? You know, at the same time, Luffy hadn't started training with Rayleigh yet. Luffy, the protagonist, hadn't awakened observation haki yet, but Coby had awakened it one step ahead of him. Is Luffy Oda's biological son, or is Coby Oda's biological son? Just forcing Coby, the king of deserters, to cheat, right? It's too outrageous. 0. Opening square bracket comma closing square bracket. The video continues to play. After the Summit War, Coby was not punished for his previous performance on the battlefield. On the contrary, he was like a cheat. It can be described as a meteoric rise. After training with 200 times more effort than ordinary people, Coby's strength improved by leaps and bounds. His military rank also rose all the way. Soon, he was promoted from a small sergeant to Marine Captain. You know, Smoker when he first appeared in Logue Town 2 years ago. It's just the rank of captain. Not only that, Coby also successfully joined the Marine Special Secret Combat Unit, Blade. This is a very special Marine unit. They don't need to follow any orders. It is a guerrilla force that can act freely. They can even go to war with the 4 emperors without the permission of their superiors. This is a privilege that even the CPO has never had. Coby joined Blade. He was so high-spirited. In the Rocky Port incident led by Trafalgar Law later, Coby also helped Blackbeard defeat the pirate Akoku who originally occupied Beehive Island. And because he protected a large number of civilians in this incident, he was officially commended, and was also awarded the title of Hero. Akoku. No, wait, will this guy help Blackbeard defeat me in the future? John. Ha 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 ha. Akoku, you really ate melons and suddenly ate yourself. Silver Axe. How do you feel now that you will be defeated by this deserter king and Blackbeard in the future? Akoku. I am very angry now. I originally thought that the naval headquarters has such a wise deserter king, which may be a good thing for us pirates, but now I just want to say, this thing should have been killed by the Red Art directly with 10 punches. Sakazuki. Humph. Such a timid and cowardly guy. In the future he will be made a Marine captain, join the Blade organization, and even be awarded the title of Hero. He deserves it. Kuzan. Alala. This is indeed a bit puzzling. Just when he summit given his performance in the war, it would be good if he was not executed or fired afterwards, but he managed to get such a high position. Borsalino. I have to say, this guy named Coby is really lucky, just like he is cheating. Rox D. Zebek. Tisk tisk tisk. It seems that the top management of naval headquarters is really confused to let such a deserter get such a high position in the future. Doberman. Especially he was awarded the title of Hero, which is a title with the same weight as Vice Admiral Garp's Marine Hero. How can a deserter like him deserve it? Ghost Spider. Yes, how can such a cowardly deserter who can't distinguish between good and evil deserve the title of Hero? Huo Shaoshan. I am very dissatisfied with this. I will never agree with this. Flying Squirrel. Just because he was in Summit War's performance, no matter what he does in the future, I don't think he deserves the title of Hero. Stolo Berry. That's right. If that deserter king really becomes a hero, then our naval headquarters will be completely ruined in the future. People. Chapter 104 Akainu. Is he a deserter worthy of our Marines sending out troops to rescue him? Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. The camera switches. The time has come to after the World Summit. The 7 warlords of the sea system has been officially abolished. The original 7 warlords of the sea have all resumed their status of being wanted with a bounty. The world government and naval headquarters sent out several armies. They began to encircle and suppress several 7 warlords of the sea. The army responsible for encircling and suppressing the Pirate Queen, Boa Hancock. It was led by Coby. At this moment on the 9 Snake Island, a fierce battle is going on. In addition to a large number of warships and soldiers, the world government also dispatched 2 additional seraphs to encircle and suppress the 9 Snake Island. This lineup is obviously much stronger than the lineup to encircle the Buggy pirates. Of course, facing such an encirclement lineup, as the Pirate Queen Boa Hancock, she is not afraid at all. She led the Amazon Lily warriors to bravely meet the enemy. Countless Marine soldiers were turned into stone by Hancock's sweet fruit ability. However, just as the 2 sides were fighting fiercely, a ship that did not belong to either side was rapidly approaching the 9 Snake Island. And the pirate flag hanging on the ship It clearly announced the identity of the newcomers. Blackbeard pirates. Blackbeard led several cadres under his command, including Katrine Diem and Basque Jot. Soon they landed on the Nine Snake Island. He wanted to take advantage of the battle between Amazon Lily and Marine. To intervene. To take this opportunity to seize Boa Hancock's sweet fruit ability. The picture freezes here. The army of bullet comments floated by again. I didn't expect that Blackbeard would also intervene in the battle between Amazon Lily and Marine. Blackbeard has been hunting for demon fruit power everywhere in the past 2 years, and he probably also took a fancy to the Empress's sweet fruit. Closing square bracket. 520, but, I can't figure it out. What's the use of the sweet fruit for Blackbeard? Yeah, the Blackbeard pirates are basically all big men. It seems that there is only one woman, Catherine Diem, who looks pretty. And even if Catherine Diem looks pretty, it's useless. She is already a zone. Dog fruit, mythical beast, nine-tails fox form user, and there is no way she can absorb the power of the Empress, sweet fruit. Now it seems that all the cadres of the Blackbeard pirates have their own devil fruit abilities, right? The only one who can absorb another devil fruit ability on this basis seems to be Blackbeard, a freak with a special physique. Closing square bracket, hiss. So, Blackbeard came to hunt for the power of the sweet fruit of the Empress, but he actually wanted to keep it for himself. FK. Impossible. Blackbeard uses the power of the sweet fruit. Isn't this a bit too heaven-defying? Can you imagine Blackbeard wearing a sexy pink swimsuit, with a charming smile on his face, his body in a shy and beautiful girl's posture, and occasionally winking at you? Dog head. You. Stop talking. I already have a picture in my mind. Although I didn't actually see that scene, I feel that my eyes are no longer clean. Disgusting. Too disgusting. The picture is too beautiful and I dare not look at it. Blackbeard. Surrender to Lousy's beauty. Mellow, winking. No, I feel like I need to find Blackbeard wants some mental damages. Damn, my young heart has been greatly traumatized at this moment. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Marshall D. Teach. Edward Newgate. Teach actually wants to take away the power of the sweet fruit. I have to say, that scene is really quite eye-catching. Marco. Just thinking about that scene, I can't help but want to vomit. Closing square bracket. Gizas Bajas. To be honest, I feel the same way. Van Oka. How desperate is Captain Teach to actually want to take away the Pirate Queen's sweet fruit? Lafitte. The reason why the sweet fruit is so powerful is entirely because the Pirate Queen has the world's most beautiful appearance. If it is changed to an ugly person, the power of this fruit will definitely be greatly reduced. Closing square bracket. Poison Q. It seems that the future Captain Teach may be seriously ill. Do you need me to help him take a look and prescribe some medicine for him? Marshall D. Teach. FKU. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Blackbeard took advantage of Hancock's concentration on the enemy. He launched a sneak attack at lightning speed. Soon, he successfully subdued the opponent. In the picture, Hancock was seen being strangled by Blackbeard's neck. The dark fruit ability has a natural restraining effect on other demon fruit powers. Once in contact, the opponent's devil fruit ability will be ineffective. Therefore, Hancock, who was clamped by Blackbeard, immediately lost all resistance. He could only let the opponent strangle his neck and hold himself in the air. Of course, as the Pirate Queen Hancock, it is impossible for her to be subdued by Blackbeard so easily without doing anything. Before Blackbeard attacked her, she took the lead to use the power of the sweet fruit. All members of the Blackbeard pirate group, including Catherine Diem and Basque Jot, turned into stone. Only Blackbeard survived. Coby slumped in front of the two men, somewhat powerless. He was somewhat surprised by Blackbeard's arrival. Blackbeard looked at Hancock, who was held in his hand, and laughed. It seems that the Pirate Queen is not just a name. This is a headache. All the idiots in my group have been turned into stone by you. I want to see your ability. Hancock, who was captured by Blackbeard, did not show any fear on her face. She just stared at him blankly and said, HMPH, without my beauty, where would you get this ability? If you kill me, then your subordinates will be permanently petrified. Even the next ability user can't remove it. Hearing this, Blackbeard also said to himself with a headache. This is a bit difficult. Speaking, he suddenly looked at Coby on the side. Continued. Hey, hero Coby. Locke was really taken care of by you at that time. Thanks to you, I was able to defeat Akoku, the boss of the Beehive Island. What do you think if I let this woman go? Will she honestly restore our companions to their original state? Faced with Blackbeard's question, Kirby responded in a deep voice. My marine comrades, we must restore them to their original state no matter what. Hancock glanced at Kirby and said coldly. Just leave obediently. However, Blackbeard suddenly increased the strength of his hand the next moment. No, she's lying. Once I let go, we will both be petrified immediately. Willn't that be the end of it? To be honest, as long as you are a man, it is impossible not to fall into your tricks. Quote, this is difficult. I think we should just kill her. Hearing Blackbeard's words, Coby hurriedly said, wait. There will be too many casualties. And just at this moment, a dark conqueror's black thunder suddenly appeared from the field. Then, a low and old voice came from the place. The Marines' siege was expected. But I didn't expect the whole island to be deformed. Sorry, I'm late, Hancock. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice. Then they saw an old man with silver hair holding a knife and slowly walking towards everyone. A powerful aura burst out from his body. Instantly shocked the whole audience. This old man was actually the vice captain of Roger Pirates, Pluton. Silver Rayleigh. Rayleigh's arrival immediately caused quite a stir in the field. Even Blackbeard's face showed a deep fear and terror. Rayleigh looked at him and drew his sword slightly. He said in a gloomy tone, Hey, Whitebeard's apprentice, it's a bit childish to say that, but I really don't like you. Rayleigh looked at Hancock again, and then said, Hancock, help them to remove the petrification. I'll be a witness. No one should try to play tricks. Get out of this island. The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments passed by. Here he comes. Rayleigh, the rescue king, is here. Old man Rayleigh can always come to rescue people at the right time. He comes to rescue people at the right time. This style is just like one of my enemies' dog head. But I have to say, Rayleigh is still handsome. He is full of hockey as soon as he appears on the stage, full of coolness. Indeed, I think Rayleigh should be the most handsome old man here. Although Rayleigh's teaching is not very good, he has never disappointed people when it comes to rescuing people. I have fallen in love with the old man Rayleigh at the door. Insane face. Opening square bracket dash closing square bracket. The video continues to play. Under the shock of Rayleigh's appearance, Blackbeard finally had to let Hancock go honestly. Hancock unpetrified all the Marines and the Blackbeard pirates. Both parties also honestly withdrew from the Nine Snakes Island as agreed. Dare not to continue to plan here. Blackbeard was obviously unwilling to return empty-handed, so he turned his evil thoughts to the Marines who retreated from Nine Snake Island with him. Under Thunder's attack, Blackbeard and his men captured 800 Marine soldiers alive. They wanted to take them all back to Beehive Island as bargaining chips in negotiations with naval headquarters and world government. Blackbeard wanted the world government to recognize Beehive Island as a legitimate country. He had to have enough bargaining chips. Coby was extremely anxious when he saw this. Actively find Blackbeard, offer to exchange himself as a hostage. Hope that the other party can release the 800 Marines. In response, Blackbeard naturally nodded in agreement. After all, Coby now has the title of hero. His value is much higher than those 800 Marines. So that's it. The 800 Marines regained their freedom. And Coby was taken back to the Blackbeard Pirates headquarters, Beehive Island as a hostage. Coby, my future self was actually captured by Blackbeard. Isn't that a dead end? Monkey D. Garp. In order to save 800 Marines, he took the initiative to stand up as a hostage exchange. Coby will make some progress in the future and will no longer be as cowardly as he is now. Closing square bracket. Sengoku. Well, his performance in the Summit War was indeed disappointing, but the actions in the video did show that he has grown a lot. Sakazuki. Humph. So what? He was the leader of the operation in the video. The capture of 800 soldiers was a major dereliction of duty for him as the leader. He was also responsible for using himself as a hostage exchange. It was what every general had to do. There was nothing to brag about, right? Kuzan. Allah. That being said, Sakazuki, you seem to be a little too strict with him. Sakazuki. Hee, I'm strict. That guy was a deserter and shook the army's morale in the Summit War. I think you must know how bad the impact was. The bad impact caused by this incident is not something he can easily make up for. Borsellino. Well, that's right. This time he was captured by Blackbeard, maybe he can have a chance to die to atone for his sins. Coby. Die to atone for his sins. Is it that serious? Belmere. No, Coby, don't worry, Marine will definitely send someone to rescue you. After all, you will be known as a hero in the future, and you will be a special member of the Blade organization. You will definitely be fine. Sakazuki. Humph, save him. You mean, for such a deserter, we Marines need to send people to the Blackbeard pirates' lair to rescue him, and even go to war with the 4 Emperor's pirates and sacrifice countless Marines. This guy is not worthy at all. In the viewing screen, the video continues to play. After being captured by Blackbeard and taken back to Beehive Island, Coby was handcuffed and shackled and imprisoned in prison. But not long after, he met Perona, who came to Beehive Island to rescue Gecko Moria. Perona hoped that Coby would help her rescue Moria, so he released the other party from prison. And in order to increase the success rate of the operation, Coby directly released all the prisoners in the prison cells. In this way, Beehive Island was caught in a major riot. The picture freezes. Barrages of comments. Wow, this behavior, Buggy is an expert. Buggy. I always feel like someone is imitating me and following my old path, Doghead. I have to say, Perona is really loyal. When she heard that Moria was captured, she dared to sneak into the Blackbeard pirates alone to save him. Yeah, Perona is really brave. It's a pity why she wanted to save Coby, the deserter king. She is just as confused as Shanks before. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Perona. There is actually a role for me in this video. Gecko Moria. What? The future me was actually captured by Blackbeard. Marshall D. Teach. Even Gecko Moria was captured by me. It seems that his shadow fruit power will also belong to my Blackbeard pirates in the future. Ha ha ha. Sengoku. Blackbeard, this guy, hunts for demon fruit power everywhere. Even 7 strong men like warlords of the sea have been defeated by him, which is a big threat. Suru. Indeed, such dangerous elements with great threats should be paid special attention to. Video continues. After being rescued from prison by Perona, Coby has been running around the island to avoid being discovered and caught again by the Blackbeard pirates. But at this time, the Blackbeard pirates have already launched a carpet search on Beehive Island. This hiding method will definitely not last long. Just when Coby was anxiously thinking about how to get out, above Beehive Island, a marine warship suddenly fell from the sky, and on the bow deck of the warship. At this moment, a strong old man with white hair was standing. It was the legendary hero of Naval Headquarters, Monkey D. Garp. Chapter 105. Falling to the bottom of the sea. Garp beats up Aokiji, cleansing up the sect online. A huge marine warship descended from the sky. Garp stood on the doghead at the bow. He looked down at the Beehive Island below. He had a bohemian smile on his face. Ha ha ha. The hearty laughter spread throughout the island. The pirates on Beehive Island looked up at this scene. They all showed shock and fear on their faces. Look, on that warship is, how could it be, hasn't he retired? The legendary marine hero, Vice Admiral Garp. Amid the exclamations of the crowd, Garp suddenly jumped up from the bow of the warship. On his fist as big as a casserole, wrapped in the dark armament hockey. At the same time, there were terrifying Conqueror's hockey black thunders emanating from it. The next moment, Garp's powerful voice spread across the island again. Hey, pirates, do you know who you caught? Coby is the future of Marine. And, my beloved disciple. The words fell. Garp aimed at the island below and punched hard. The terrifying shock wave with the powerful hockey suddenly slammed downward. Fist bone impact. With Garp's angry shout, the terrifying shock wave instantly swept over most of the island below. Bang! Boom! The terrifying explosion sounded on the island. Anywhere covered by this shock wave, All the houses and buildings collapsed in an instant. Razored to the ground, reduced to ruins. And the pirates within the shock wave range. They were also blown away one by one in an instant. Then fell heavily to the ground in the distance. Foaming at the mouth, already completely unconscious, lost all combat power. Marine hero Garp's punch is so powerful. It can be described as terrifying. The picture freezes here. The army of bullet comments floats over again. There is a loud bang in the sky. Chicken sauce makes a brilliant appearance. FK. Old man Garp is still so powerful. The power of this punch is really terrifying. It directly raised half of the island of Hive 13 to the ground. Powerful. It's really too powerful. I would like to call old man Garp One Punch Man. Who can ask? Garp is old, can he still make a living? Dog head. At the beginning of Summit War, Xiao Ma was punched back from the phoenix form to the human form by Garp, and he was still wrapped in bandages for so long. I thought that Xiao Ma was too weak, but I didn't expect that Garp was too strong. In the past, when I saw Xiao Ma wrapped in bandages, I thought that he had just been Garp's punch required a bandage, so the name of Phoenix for Xiao Ma seems to be exaggerated. Now when I think back to Xiao Maji's bandage, I just want to say. After being hit by Garp, he only needed a bandage. Xiao Wu really deserves the name of Phoenix. Indeed, Xiao Maji's name of Phoenix is really not exaggerated at all. Marco. Thank you old man Garp for clearing my name. Dog head. Garp is indeed awesome, but I don't understand why he came to save Coby, the deserter king. Wouldn't it be better for him to die in the hands of the Blackbeard pirates? Yeah, Coby is a deserter and a saintly BCH, what's so good about saving him? Garp's decision is also quite foolish. And Garp actually said Coby is the future of Marine. Ha, Coby, the deserter, is worthy of being called the future of Marine. If the future of Marine is someone like Coby, then Marine is really ruined. Oh, actually, if you think about it carefully, it's not difficult for you to understand why Garp would rush to save Coby at all costs. Oh, what do you mean? Think about it. Garp first trained Aokiji, an admiral, but now Aokiji has turned around and joined the Blackbeard pirates. Then Garp also trained his son Dragon, wanting him to be an excellent marine, but Dragon, who was full of rebellion, directly formed a revolutionary army himself. Closing square bracket. Then there are Luffy and Ace. Garp has been training Luffy to be an excellent marine since he was young, but they both turned out to be rebellious and insisted on going out to sea as pirates. Closing square bracket. These rebellious people one after another, I guess Garp's mentality is almost broken by them. Now that he has finally accepted Coby as his obedient apprentice, who has been obedient to him and has been working as a marine honestly, isn't Garp like he has found a treasure? Yes, after listening to the explanation above, I seem to understand why Garp attaches so much importance to Coby. Closing square bracket. But this doesn't affect the fact that I think Coby, the deserter king, is not worth saving by Garp. That's right, I can only say that Garp's vision in recruiting disciples seems to be not very good, ha 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 ha, dog head. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Monkey D. Garp. These comments actually say that my vision in recruiting disciples is not very good. This is ridiculous. Sengoku. Although, these comments seem to be right, Garp. Suru. Indeed, these comments make sense. Garp, I think you should really reflect on whether your vision in taking in apprentices is really not good enough. Or you should learn from Zephyr. Monkey D. Garp. Marshall D. Teach. Good guy. In order to save the deserter King Coby, I didn't expect to alarm the legendary marine hero Vice Admiral Garp. It seems that my pirate group will inevitably face a big battle next. Giza's Bajis. Marine hero Vice Admiral Garp, so what? Our Blackbeard pirates will be one of the 4 Emperor's pirates in the future. With just Garp, can he challenge our entire pirate group alone? Gall D. Roger. Tisk tisk tisk, young pirates nowadays are so arrogant. Edward Newgate. Gulala, Garp's strength is not as simple as you think. If you underestimate him, you will suffer. Kaido. But in addition to Blackbeard, the 4 Emperors, the Blackbeard pirates now also have Aokiji, an admiral-level strongman who turned against them. Even Garp may not be able to deal with it, right? Charlotte Linlin. Well, isn't it said that Aokiji is Garp's former disciple? I wonder if the master and disciple will fight. If they do, it will be exciting. Rox D. Zebek. Ha 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 ha. That's right. The drama of the master and disciple turning against each other is the most exciting. Shiki. Ha ha ha, fight. I want to see a river of blood. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. With the appearance of Garp, the members of the Blade Squad also appeared on the Beehive Island one after another. Garp landed slowly. He looked at the pirates who were gathering around him frantically. He shouted, "Don't move, pirates. You will suffer more casualties later." After saying this warning, Garp looked at the damage caused by his punch to the island. He muttered to himself, "It's so depressing. I've completely regressed." Such a Versailles statement made the pirates dumbfounded. The fear in their hearts was also a little worse. At the same time, on the other side, Coby was also successfully rescued by the other members of the Blade team. He was running towards Garp with great joy at this moment. However, he was still handcuffed with a long shackle on his foot. He didn't find the key to unlock it. Skylark followed behind Coby. He looked at Garp and said, "Vice Admiral Garp, Senior Coby's shackles can't be taken off. Quote, I don't know what to do. Can you please help me?" Righto. UK didn't have time to finish his words. An extremely cold chill came silently and quickly from behind. In an instant, it completely enveloped UK. In just a blink of an eye, the Skylark who was still speaking had been turned into an ice sculpture. Then, a familiar figure appeared in front of everyone. Without a doubt, it was the former Marine Admiral and now the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates ship No. 10. Kuzan. The sudden change shocked Coby. He held the Skylark who had been frozen into an ice sculpture in his arms. Looking at Kuzan in front of him, he said anxiously, "Mr. Kuzan, what are you doing? Hurry up and restore Skylark to its original state." Kuzan was wearing a pair of round-frame sunglasses. His sight fell on Coby through the sunglasses. He said expressionlessly, "Coby, if you escape while Teach is not here, then I will have a headache." The picture froze. A large army of bullets passed by. Hiss. Is it Aokiji's turn to appear? It seems that a big battle is about to break out between Garp and Aokiji, the master and apprentice. Could it be that Aokiji joined the Blackbeard Pirates sincerely? Otherwise, he could have just stayed in a place and not come out. Yeah, but I think Aokiji did a great job. He should have stopped Coby from escaping. He definitely couldn't let this deserter go back alive. That being said, but why did Aokiji freeze K instead of K? K, aren't you going to stop Coby? Why are you freezing me? Did I provoke you? Dog head. Haha. You don't understand this, right? The reason why Aokiji froze K first was because K is Akainu's daughter. FK. There's even this. Hiss. Then I suddenly understood why Aokiji would do this. It turns out that Aokiji is just taking revenge on himself, dog head. Having his leg broken by Akainu, his body burned over a large area, and his position as Marine Admiral taken away, this is really a big deal. Aokiji. I can't take revenge on Akainu, so I can only take it out on Akainu's daughter, dog head. Tisk tisk tisk. I didn't expect Aokiji to be such a vengeful person, I didn't expect it at all. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Sakazuki. Kuzan. UBD. You actually took it out on Lousy's daughter. Kuzan. Alala, that was done by my future self, not my current self, it's useless to get angry at me. Borsellino. Kuzan's future leg was broken by Sakazuki. That's scary, it seems I can't mess with Sakazuki. Sengoku. So Kuzan is competing with Sakazuki. Did he lose the fight for the position of Marine Admiral, so he chose to leave Marine and join the Blackbeard Pirates? Marshal D. Teach. Ha ha ha, Akainu did a great job. This really sent an admiral to our Blackbeard Pirates. Van Oka. Yes, it's a good thing that Aokiji lost. If it was Akainu, he would never join us even if he lost. Monkey D. Garp. Humph. Kuzan. This guy actually dared to be a pirate. Wait and see, the man in the video will definitely knock this guy out and tie him back to Marine. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Seeing Aokiji appear, Garp also shouted at him angrily. Kuzan, quickly change Hibari back. Funky, get out of here. Quote. Come back to Marine. Kuzan's expression did not waver at all after hearing this. His body was covered with a layer of frost. A bone-chilling chill emanated from his body. He was clearly ready to fight at any time. Aokiji looked at Garp and said in a deep voice. You are still the same, you just say whatever you want to say. What a pity, none of your requests will be fulfilled. Mr. Garp, I like this about you. So now I have to live my life according to my own ideas. After the words fell, a bone-chilling chill suddenly burst out from Aokiji's body. It quickly attacked Garp, who was standing in front of him. The bone-chilling chill instantly enveloped Garp. The next moment, Garp was directly frozen in a huge ice ball. Aokiji looked at Garp, who was frozen in the ice ball, and continued. Can you kill your former top disciple to save your beloved disciple? Kuzan had just finished speaking. Garp's voice came from the ice ball. Idiot, don't tie yourself up in knots. I should have taught you. Live in the present, right? As Garp's voice continued to come out of the ice ball, the huge ice ball began to be covered with cracks one after another. 2. The ice ball exploded completely from the inside. Ice chips flew all over the sky. Garp's figure suddenly flashed. He disappeared in an instant. When he reappeared, he had actually come close to Aokiji. Then, a hand wrapped in black hockey suddenly stretched out. It directly grabbed Aokiji's face tightly. Listen carefully. Great. People who are confused in their hearts. Vulnerable. Garp said so. Then he grabbed Aokiji's head without hesitation. He smashed his entire body to the ground, falling to the bottom of the sea. Accompanied by Garp's angry shout, Aokiji's body was smashed heavily on the ground below. It actually smashed the ground directly into a terrifying deep pit. Aokiji's body also fell straight into the deep pit. The picture freezes here. Dense barrages of comments came out again. Hiss. Garp is really fierce. Garp clears his master online. Why do I feel that even Marine Admiral Aokiji is not as good as Garp? He is worthy of being the man who chased Roger around the world in the past. Now I have to believe what Garp said in Summit War before. I am afraid that I can't help killing Akainu. At that time, I felt Garp's words may be boastful, but now it seems, the old man is still modest. No wonder Garp dared not listen to Celestial Dragon's orders, and scolded whenever he wanted. It turns out that fists are the best way to speak. Garp used this sinking move to hit Aokiji, just like beating his grandson. Don't make a fuss, Garp's real grandson Luffy has never suffered such a beating from Garp, doghead. Ha 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 ha, indeed, if Luffy had really suffered such a beating before, I'm afraid he wouldn't be alive until now. Aokiji, we are both pirates instead of Marines, why are I and the Straw Hat Boy treated so differently? Garp. Nonsense. You are just my apprentice, not my grandson. Doghead. Ha 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 ha. This different treatment is really hilarious. I wonder if Garp is venting all his resentment about Luffy being a pirate on Aokiji. Doghead. Don't tell me, it's really possible. Aokiji was so angry that he changed his last name to Monkey D overnight, Doghead. Aokiji. Monkey D. Kuzan, I'm here. Doghead. Chapter 106. Coby, the stupid teammate. Dragon and Luffy want to sacrifice Coby. Gecko Moria. Hiss. He knocked the former Marine Admiral into the ground with one punch. Is this the true strength of the legendary Marine hero? Don Quixote Doflamingo. Foo. As expected of the legendary Marine who once chased the Pirate King Roger around the world, he really lives up to his reputation. Monkey D. Garp. Damn. This is just the beginning. When I was young, my fists were more powerful than this. I am getting old and regressing. Gall D. Roger. Good guy. You were pretending to be Garp, an old guy. Borsalino. Kuzan, you really got beaten up by Vice Admiral Garp in the video. Kuzan. Allah, I can only say that as expected of Mr. Garp, his strength is still as strong as ever, and he is still strong even when he is old. Sakazuki. To deal with a traitor like you, I think the Vice Admiral Garp in the video is the best. Garp didn't go too easy. Baramelber. Great, with Vice Admiral Garp here, saving Coby is a sure thing. Coby, Phew, luckily there's Vice Admiral Garp, otherwise I might really die at the hands of the Blackbeard pirates. Monkey D. Luffy. Don't worry Coby, Grandpa is very strong, you will be fine, hehehehe. Monkey D. Dragon. Grandpa is very strong, but he broke into the Blackbeard pirates base alone, I'm always worried that he might have an accident. Monkey D. Garp. Bah, bah, bah. Dragon, you stinky boy, are you cursing me for something to happen? I've fought all my life, and I don't know how many times I've experienced more dangerous situations than the one in the video, how could there be an accident? Don't worry, it's very stable. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Although Aokiji was hit into the ground by Garp's underwater fall. It seems that he can't climb out for a while. But Beehive Island is also called Pirate Island. It was once used as the base camp by Rocks, Akoku and Blackbeard. The number of pirates gathered there is far beyond imagination. The strength of other cadres of the Blackbeard pirate group is also not to be underestimated. These pirates soon besieged Garp and others. Garp led Coby, Belmber and Prince Groose and other members of the Blade team. Started a fierce battle with these pirates on Beehive Island. Although the enemies seemed to be endless. But Garp was not afraid at all. The more he fought, the braver he became. Several cadres of the Blackbeard pirate group were defeated by him one after another. The surrounding pirates were all a little scared. The deterrent power of the legendary marine can also be seen from this. Madara. After a fierce battle, the news came from the marine warship. All the captives and all the marines including the wounded have been successfully transferred. Their warships have also sailed out of the port of Beehive Island. They can set sail at any time. Now on this Beehive Island, only Garp, Coby, Belumber and Prince Groose are left. Just wait for all four of them to return to the warship. That is to escape immediately. After hearing this news, Garp also has no intention of fighting. Immediately ordered Coby and others. Very good, everything is done. Coby, Groose, Belumber. Let's retreat. As he said, he knocked down a large number of pirates who surrounded him with one punch. He sighed sincerely. It really deserves to be the Beehive Island. Pirates emerge in waves. There's no end to it. And just at this moment, in the smoke and dust not far ahead, a figure slowly approached. It was Aokiji who was punched into the ground by Garp before. Aokiji seemed a little embarrassed at the moment. He was covered with dust. There were also many minor scratches. He walked slowly towards Garp and others. He said with a very serious look, I told you I can't let you go. Mr. Garp. Garp glanced at Aokiji who was approaching in front of him. There was no special reaction. He just looked at the other party and said, do you still want to fight, Kuzan? Then, he turned his head and looked at Coby and others behind him. He solemnly warned, listen carefully, how many of you? Next, just run to the coast. Don't die. Hearing Garp's order, Coby, Groose and Belum nodded in response immediately. Then they started to run towards the coast. Righto. Coby had just run out for 2 steps. A scream reached his ears. Help. Coby looked in the direction of the sound. Then he saw a woman being chased by several pirates with weapons. Oh no, are there still captives who haven't escaped? Seeing this, Coby stopped immediately. He turned around and ran towards the woman being chased by the pirates. Wait, I'll save you right away. Not far away. Seeing Coby's move, Groose immediately yelled at him. Idiot, that's a trap. Coby. Groose's anxious shout came, but it was too late. A sharp edge was approaching Coby from behind. It was too late to dodge at this time. But at this critical moment, a figure suddenly appeared behind Coby. He completely shielded the opponent. It was Garp. The next moment, swish, accompanied by the sound of a sharp weapon cutting through flesh and blood. A pitch-black long knife actually pierced directly into Garp's abdomen. Completely pierced his entire body. Blood immediately splashed out from the wound. Then, on the empty field in front of Garp, a figure slowly emerged from the original invisible state. Who else could it be except Shiryu? The picture freezes here. A dense army of bullet comments emerged again. Opening square bracket question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing square bracket. No, chicken sauce. Damn, Coby, the saintly BCH, is having a seizure again. This idiot is really good at nothing and can only hinder others. Such a glaring trap, even Gross can see through it at a glance, but Coby actually fell for it. It would be fine if he fell for it, but it would be better if he was stabbed to death by Shiryu. Why did he have to implicate Garp? Yeah, if Garp hadn't sacrificed himself to block Shiryu's knife for Coby, Coby would have died long ago. Didn't Coby awaken observation haki after the Summit War? Even earlier than Luffy, what's the point of his observation haki? Damn, with Garp as the leader, Coby only needed to win easily, but he had to act like a saint and forcefully gave Luffy a chance to win. Garp increases the difficulty. The news has been received from the warship before that all the captured personnel have been safely evacuated, but if Coby uses his pig brain to think about it, he can know that it must be a trap, right? It turns out that he is not afraid of godlike opponents, but pig-like teammates. I never thought that Garp's once-in-a-lifetime flash would not be used on Luffy, his grandson, but was wasted on Coby, a stupid deserter and a BCH. Now that Garp was seriously injured by Shiryu's knife, his condition will definitely decline significantly. I'm afraid the next battle will be very dangerous. Damn, Coby is such a jerk. The game that was originally a sure win may be lost by him like this. Garp rushed to Beehive Island to save him at all costs, and in the end he repays Garp's life-saving grace like this, right? If I were as for Luffy, I will definitely blow Coby's head off with one punch next time we meet. Indeed, if Garp is really in trouble, I suggest that Dragon and Luffy should sacrifice Coby first. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Coby, Monkey D. Garp, Monkey D. Dragon, Monkey D. Luffy, Coby, Vice Admiral Garp, was seriously injured in order to save me. Monkey D. Dragon. The guy in the video is the former Impel Down guard Shiryu of the Long Reign, right? The old man was hit by his knife. I'm afraid he was seriously injured. Fang, Monkey D. Luffy. How could this happen? Grandpa is not going to be in trouble. Sengoku. The trap in the video is so obvious, but Coby actually fell for it, and Garp was seriously injured in order to save him. Suru. If Garp hadn't been injured, it wouldn't have been a problem for him to lead everyone to evacuate Beehive Island safely. However, after being stabbed, it's probably too dangerous for Mr. Joe. Borsalino. Vice Admiral Garp won't die there because of this. Then this Coby will be the sinner of our entire naval headquarters. Sakazuki. Even if this didn't happen, based on what he did in the Summit War, he would have been a sinner and shame of our naval headquarters. Kuzan. Mr. Garp's situation in the video is indeed not good. Absalom. Wait, the ability used by the Rain Shiryu in the video, isn't it my transparent fruit ability? Why did it appear on him? Gecko Moria. Absalom, it seems that even you won't be able to escape the clutches of Blackbeard in the future. Vinsmoke Sanji. What? The ability of the transparent fruit that I've been dreaming about, will be taken away by the Blackbeard pirates in the future. This is really abominable. Kaido. First it was Marine Admiral Aokiji, and now it's impelled down to guard Shiryu of Nagase. How many people did Blackbeard poach from the Marines? Charlotte Linlin. So the naval headquarters and the world government are continuously supplying talents to the Blackbeard pirates. Marshall D. Teach. Thank you naval headquarters and the world government for your strong support for our pirate group. Edward Newgate. Damn, seeing Teach so proud and arrogant, I really want to beat him up. Gall D. Roger. Compared to Blackbeard, I want to beat up Coby now. Although Garp and I have different positions, it's really infuriating to have such a stupid teammate. Shanks. As expected, the saintly BCH should be eliminated early. I regret saving him in the Summit War in the future. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Coby was so frightened by the sudden situation that he collapsed on the ground. He looked at Garp who was stabbed by Shiryu in front of him in a daze. His face was full of fear and panic. And Garp, with his injured body, punched Shiryu in front of him without hesitation. He smashed him hard to the ground. Until then, Coby and others reacted. Bruce and Belmer shouted anxiously. Mr. Garp. Garp responded without looking back. I'm fine, you guys hurry back to the ship. Coby still collapsed on the ground, holding his head with both hands. Looking very regretful, he apologized to Garp in front of him. "Mr. Garp, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Mr. Garp blocked the knife for me." Before Coby could finish his words, Garp interrupted him directly. "Don't be so self-righteous, Coby. He was coming for me." Just as they were talking like this, a large group of pirates rushed up from all around. Seeing Garp seriously injured by Shiryu, these pirates were extremely excited. Raising their weapons high in their hands, they shouted, "Garp is seriously injured and weak. Now maybe even we can defeat him. Let's go together. The dream of making a fortune is right in front of us. Take his head off." Garp's bounty is the same as Admiral's, 3 crowns. Worth a full 3 billion berries. Under the temptation of the high bounty offered by the Cross Guild to Garp, a group of pirates were excited to go forward and besiege Garp. And at this moment, an anxious shout came from not far away. "Get out of here, you bastards. Even if you tie his hands and feet, you can never kill Mr. Garp." The person who spoke was undoubtedly Aokiji. At this moment, he rushed up from behind. He shouted back the pirates who wanted to besiege Garp. He came to Garp alone. The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments floated by. "Haha, he is anxious. Aokiji is obviously anxious. Good." Even at this time, Aokiji still remembers to use honorifics to address Garp. Closing square bracket. After all, Garp has always been Aokiji's idol. Even if his position is different now, he must still respect Garp in his heart. Closing square bracket. But to be honest, I originally thought that Aokiji was an undercover sent by Marine to the Blackbeard pirates. At this time, he might work together with Garp to wipe out the Blackbeard pirates in one go. Now it seems that I thought too much. Yeah, I still don't understand why Aokiji joined the Blackbeard pirates. Forget it. Let's not talk about Aokiji for now. Let's talk about Coby, the beast. This beast is so irritating. I think there is only one way for Coby to wash away his sins now, that is, to sacrifice himself to cover Garp's evacuation from Beehive Island. Hehe, although I also want him to do this, do you think that with the courage and strength of the Deserter King, he can do such a thing? It's impossible. The current situation is completely the opposite. Garp is about to sacrifice himself to cover Coby's successful escape from Beehive Island. Use Garp's life in exchange for the life of Coby. This is such a bad deal. I suggest Coby to commit suicide and apologize. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. The video continues to play. Aokiji rushed to Garp quickly. Then he swung his fist wrapped in ice at the other party. Ice fist. While swinging his fist, Aokiji couldn't help but recall the bits and pieces of his experience with Garp and his training under him. He said to Garp with a very complicated expression, "Mr. Garp, you have personally cultivated a very difficult enemy." Garp smiled slightly when he heard this. Then he responded in a cold tone, 014512413 Philu 181,440,150. "You were expelled from the sect, stupid apprentice." The voice fell. The two people's fists hit each other's faces almost at the same time. In an instant, a terrifying explosion erupted with the two of them as the center. Chapter 107 Garp's Last Lesson, Coby's 200 times effort. Bang! Boom! The terrifying impact swept all around. The next moment, Garp and Aokiji were thrown backwards at the same time. They dragged for a long distance on the ground. Garp fell to the ground. He covered his head with his hands. Apparently Aokiji's punch just now also caused him considerable damage. Coby, Bruce and Belumber saw this. They hurried forward to protect Garp in the middle. At the same time, on the sea near Beehive Island, Marine's warship was docked here at the moment. On the deck of the warship, Skylark, who had been poured with hot water by everyone and recovered from the frozen state. Worried and self-blaming, he whispered, "Where is Senior Coby? I'm really sorry. It's all my fault for holding you back." The screen freezes. The comments drift by. "No, you didn't hold back, it was Coby who held back." Don't worry, Coby's teammate is holding back much more than you. Compared to Coby, you're not holding back at all, right? Why do I feel like this girl named Skylark seems to have some interest in Coby? Indeed, I've noticed that, and it seems to be true. FK, how could such a cute girl fall in love with that idiot Coby? It's a pity that such a beautiful girl is blind at such a young age. If I remember correctly, this Skylark seems to be Akainu's daughter, right? If this matter is if Akainu knew, he would be furious. It's like your precious daughter, whom you have worked so hard to raise, suddenly comes home with a little yellow-haired boy holding hands with you one day. Doghead. Seeing this, you angrily rebuke your daughter and order them to separate, but your daughter tells you that they are in love and that you don't understand him at all. Doghead. FK. Stop talking. I'm already involved. Damn. Where's my knife? If I were Akainu, I would definitely want to kill this guy Coby right away. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Coby. Sakazuki. Humph. What these comments said is right. I really want to kill this guy called Coby right now. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. A group of pirates quickly rushed to Coby and others. They surrounded them all in the middle. The evil king, A000 Waro Pizarro, who has merged with the entire Beehive Island, suddenly laughed. Meow ha ha ha, your hope of escaping is very slim. This is Beehive Island. Pirates will come out in an endless stream if you poke them a little. Me, do you think the warship is safe after leaving the shore? Don't underestimate the power of my island fruit. Every day when I open the newspaper, it's all Blackbeard. We also want to be famous. Tomorrow's morning newspaper headline, I'll see what it is. To rescue Marine hero Colonel Coby. The famous Vice Admiral Garp led a group of young elite troops to Beehive Island. But due to the terrifying ability of the Blackbeard pirates captain of ship number 4, Avalo Pizarro, they were tragically annihilated, said, under the control of the island fruit ability of the King of Evil government. A huge palm made of island rocks suddenly extended from Beehive Island. Raised high, covering the sky and the sun. It was about to hit the marine warship docked on the sea near Beehive Island. With the terrifying size and power of that huge hand, if this hand really hits down, it will definitely smash the marine warship to pieces in an instant. At that time, all the marines and civilians on the warship will die in the sea. Seeing this situation, Coby was immediately extremely panicked. He anxiously shouted to the King of Evil government. How could this happen? Stop it. Everyone is on that ship. There are still many civilians who are not marines. He stood there and shouted anxiously, waving his hands at the King of Evil government. It seemed that he was trying to stop the King of Evil government in this way. However, this was obviously impossible. The huge island hand was under the control of the King of Evil government. It slowly hit the warship on the sea. The picture was frozen here. The army of translucent bullet comments passed by again. Puff. What is this idiot Coby doing? Is he trying to stop the King of Evil government by yelling? Or is he trying to make the King of Evil government feel guilty and stop on his own initiative? Does he think the King of Evil government is an idiot Saint BCH like him? He is useless at the critical moment and can only yell here, just like a complete waste. The King of Evil government. Do you know a movie called Around the World? Coby. What? The King of Evil government. Flying house, brother. Dog head. The King of Evil government. Do you know what smoke is when you inhale it into your lungs and then exhale it? Coby. What? The King of Evil government. It's still lung fog, brother. Dog head. To be honest, with a useless burden like Coby, I think Garp may really have to explain himself here today. Closing square bracket. Yeah, how can we win with such a stupid teammate? The only way I can think of that Garp could be rescued is if Crocodile and Hawkeye suddenly come with the people of the Cross Guild and rescue Garp from the Blackbeard pirates. Closing square bracket. Why? Shouldn't Sengoku and Crane be the ones to save Garp? Why Crocodile and Hawkeye? Hee. You don't understand this, do you? Crocodile and Hawkeye will save Garp because the Cross Guild doesn't have that much money to pay Garp's bounty. Ha. God damn, they don't have that much money to pay Garp's bounty. This reason is really amazing. Ha. This reason is absurd but also reasonable. No problem. Don't tell me, maybe there is such a possibility, dog head. To be honest, I really want to see this scene. It will definitely be a great show. Ha. Crocodile and Hawkeye Buggy. Sorry, 3 billion Baileys is too much, we really can't afford it, dog head. Opening square bracket -- closing square bracket. Buggy. Sir Crocodile, Dracula Mahawk, Sakazuki. Hee, what these comments said is right, this Coby is indeed a complete waste. Not only a waste, but also a drag. Borsalino. At this time, he doesn't want to stop the evil king, but can only shout there, it's really a bit bad, brother. Kuzan. Allah, it seems that Mr. Garp's disciple is still far behind me. Rox D. Zebek. Damn, this idiot Coby makes Lousy very anxious. You go up and kill the evil king, what's the point of just shouting there? Shiki. Ha, I can only say that he is worthy of being the deserter king. He is really useless at the critical moment. He can't do anything except being a deserter and a drag. AI. In the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Under the control of the evil king, the huge palm is slapping the warship below with an unstoppable force. Facing such a horrific attack, the Marines and civilians on the warships were completely powerless to stop it. Even if they fired wildly, they could not hurt the enemy at all. They could only raise their heads in despair. They watched the huge hand getting closer and closer to them. And at this moment on the Beehive Island, Coby was still shouting at the king of evil government. He hoped that the other party would stop such actions. But it was obvious that the king of evil government would not pay any attention to his words. Seeing this situation, Coby became more and more anxious. Garp, who was lying on the ground, suddenly said in a deep voice. Coby, don't lose your composure. 121. Justice will prevail. Garp began to instruct Coby, Bruce and Belmer. You three can definitely save them. Listen carefully. I will create a gap for a moment. Colonel Coby, you are responsible for destroying the hand of the island monster. Bruce Rear Admiral, you are responsible for protecting the warship BDDD from being hit by the falling rocks after the destruction. Major Belmer, you are responsible for covering, don't let anyone interfere with them. Hearing Garp's arrangement, Coby couldn't help but hesitate. Such an exaggerated thing. You want me to destroy it? Coby wanted to say something else to refuse. Garp interrupted him decisively. He said in a deep voice. Decisions are always made in a moment. Go. Hearing this, Coby couldn't say anything more. He could only follow Bruce and Belmer and run away. And just after the three left, falling on the ground, Garp also stood up again. He was about to start his own action. And at this moment, Aokiji appeared in front of him again. At this time, even the sunglasses that Aokiji was wearing had been knocked off. It seemed that he was seriously injured. He looked at Garp, who stood up again, and said, Mr. Garp, where is Owen going to go? He is so badly injured. Garp gasped, but he raised a nonchalant smile on his face. Haha, it's just a minor injury. Quote, Aokiji raised his hand to wipe the bloodline from the corner of his mouth, and said to himself, I'm worried for nothing, right? He didn't finish his words. Garp in front of him suddenly moved. He rushed to Aokiji in a flash. Indecisive, Garp shouted angrily. Then he punched Aokiji, who was caught off guard, and sent him flying. Then, Garp's figure seemed to turn into a flash of lightning. He shuttled quickly on the Beehive Island at an incredible speed. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived in front of the huge rock skull in the center of the island. The real body of the evil king, Avalo Pizarro, the user of the island fruit ability. He was hiding in that huge skull. Seeing Garp rushing towards him at such a rapid momentum, the evil king hiding in the huge skull was immediately panicked. Garp, why is he rushing towards me? Wait, don't you care about the warship? The pupils of the evil king shrank sharply. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead. The next moment, Garp punched the huge skull without hesitation. The extremely powerful haki was still wrapped around his fist. Broken fist. Garp's punch hit the huge skull. The evil king hiding inside was immediately blasted to spit blood and his eyes rolled back. The picture freezes here. The army of Barrages passed by again. FK. Garp is still fierce. Garp is really fierce even though he was seriously injured and can still exert such combat power. Look at the cowardly look of the evil king. He just said that he would annihilate all of Garp's people, but when he saw Garp rushing towards him, he was immediately scared and sweating. Garp, didn't you say you were going to kill me? You're not happy when I really come. Doghead. Ha. It seems that Garp's deterrent power is still strong. Even pirates of the level of the King of Evil will sweat profusely when they see him take action. But it seems that most of the cadres under the Blackbeard pirates are like this. No matter where they go, they always seem to be defeated. Not only the cadres of the Blackbeard pirates, but even the Captain Blackbeard himself is defeated everywhere. He is scared to death by everyone he meets. It turns out that these cadres of the Blackbeard pirates are all following the Captain Blackbeard, ha ha ha. The thickest armor, the harshest words, and the most vicious beatings, dog head. But they are cowardly and defeated, but they seem to have never been truly defeated. Indeed, anyway, the Blackbeard pirates are still the last laugh. So, the Blackbeard pirates are actually quite good, but they are not as cool as the red hair pirates. Closing square bracket. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Under Garp's heavy punch, the body of the evil king hidden inside the huge skull fell backwards uncontrollably. And immediately afterwards, the huge island monster also made the same move as the evil king. The huge body leaned back completely uncontrollably. The huge palm that was originally slapping the warship below was also lifted up involuntarily. At this moment, Coby and Gross, who were running at full speed on the Beehive Island, saw this scene. Both of them were excited. Gross looked at Coby and said, "A moment of gap, it's now. That guy's arm is raised. Coby, what are you going to do?" Coby looked back at Gross and shouted, "I will never let Vice Admiral down." As he said, he suddenly jumped up. His figure jumped high into the air. He came to the huge raised hand. At the same time, the evil king who was hit by Garp roared, "UBD, don't think you can make me back down like this. I'm so angry. Just watch me. I'll smash your warships to pieces." $338. The Marines screamed and died miserably. Amid the roar of the evil king, the huge hand once again slapped the warship below. And Coby, who had already jumped into the air, was right below it. He was also within its attack range. But this time Coby did not choose to run away. Instead, he punched out. "I must destroy this big hand. Otherwise everyone will die. Everyone will be killed by me." At this moment, Coby's heart burst out with an unprecedented firm belief. Then he punched hard on the huge hand. NY. Fist bone. Accompanied by Coby's roar, the terrifying impact was accompanied by the powerful hockey bursting out from Coby's fist. It actually penetrated the huge hand and smashed it completely. Chapter 108. Everyone starts cursing. It is clear that Coby is a pure beast. As Coby punched out, the giant island monster controlled by the King of Evil was completely pierced through. It was directly blasted into countless pieces under the terrifying impact. The picture freezes here. The dense army of bullet screens emerged again. Opening square bracket question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing square bracket. Wow, he smashed the giant hand of such a huge island monster with one punch. When did Uombi become so strong? You know, when Coby first appeared 2 years ago, he was a weakling who couldn't even beat ordinary pirate minions. How could he become so strong in just 2 years? The speed at which Coby's strength is improving, even the protagonist Luffy would feel ashamed when seeing it. Luffy started practicing since he was a child, and received guidance and teaching from so many famous teachers, and finally improved his strength to this point. As a result, Coby almost caught up with Luffy's strength in just 2 years. Outrageous. Too outrageous. What they said was that Coby put in 200 times more effort than ordinary people, so what does this mean? Luffy and Zoro and the others don't work hard. Coby, your strength hasn't improved in all these years. When you watch it, find out why. Have you worked hard to practice? Doghead. Wow, when this 200 times effort comes out, it suddenly feels like Coby is possessed by the eyebrow pencil guy. Doghead. And Coby and the eyebrow pencil guy do have one thing in common, that is, they are both annoying. Damn, Coby, the Deserter King, is improving faster than Luffy and the others. Is this reasonable? And Coby doesn't have the Nika fruit like Luffy, nor does he have the Yama like Zoro, and Sanji has the bloodline factor. He just has 200 times the effort. How can he improve so fast? Assuming an ordinary Marines have to train for 6 hours a day, so Coby has to work 200 times harder, which means he has to train for 1,200 hours a day. Oh my goodness. So Coby is actually a user of the time fruit, and his time flow is completely different from that of others, right? I can only say that Coby's cheating is more outrageous than anyone else's. Why does a deserter deserve such treatment? I think Oda is also confused. If Coby really has such a terrifying talent, then when he was captured by Alvida 2 years ago, if he was lazy and just did a push-up, there would be no need for Luffy to come out to save him, Doghead. If Coby had trained with Luffy since he was a child, wouldn't he have ruled the world directly now? Doghead, why wait until now? If Coby, the hard-working guy, had really been trained with Luffy since he was a child, if he trains with Luffy, he will be a general at the age of 5, dominate the world at the age of 6, and dominate the universe at the age of 7. Doghead. Anyway, I didn't feel any passion or emotion when I saw this scene. I just felt disgusted and nauseous. Coby, the deserter king, doesn't deserve such growth. Opening square bracket dash closing square bracket. Rocks D. Zebek. Good guy. He can grow from a rookie to this level in just 2 years. This kid called Coby is actually a super genius. Sakazuki. Humph. With his distorted values and his inability to distinguish between good and evil, it's useless even if he has a good talent. He will only be a disaster if he keeps him. Shiki. Since he has such a strong strength as shown in the video, what was he doing when Garp blocked the knife for him just now? Ha 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 ha. Kaido. Indeed, if he could have burst out this power earlier, Garp would not have been seriously injured for blocking the knife for him. Charlotte Linlin. Could this guy be playing Garp? Edward Newgate. Gullula. No matter what, Garp was screwed by this kid. Coby. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Under Coby's desperate outbreak, the crisis of the marine warship was finally completely resolved. Gross used the power of his clay fruit to net the rubble that fell from the sky, to prevent the warship from being hit by these rubbles. Then, Coby, Gross and Belmer successfully returned to the marine warship. At this time, in addition to the Blackbeard pirates, there was only Garp left on the island. All they had to do was wait for Garp to return to the warship. Everyone could completely escape from Beehive Island. Exito. Just as everyone was celebrating and cheering for this, the Den Den Mushi on the warship suddenly rang. Garp's voice came from it. I'm Garp. The mission to rescue Colonel Coby has been completed. Tashigi, who was in charge of answering the call, responded with some concern. Yes, Vice Admiral Garp. You should also return to the ship as soon as possible. But Garp's next sentence was beyond everyone's expectations. All troops will set off immediately. Leave Beehive Island as soon as possible. Everyone was shocked. What about you, Vice Admiral Garp? Everyone asked anxiously and worriedly. And Garp on the other end of the phone calmly replied. I can always find a way by myself. Your survival is the most important thing. As long as you can survive, one day you will become a threat to the pirates. The future of Marine. Ha 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 ha. The call ended abruptly with Garp's last hearty laugh. Then the camera turned. The picture returned to Beehive Island. But now Garp is lying on the ground, surrounded by Aokiji, Shiryu and other Blackbeard pirates leaders, and a large number of pirates. And on Garp's body, there is still a thick layer of frost. The wound that Shiryu stabbed earlier. There is a long sharp ice spike. Aokiji is standing next to him. His whole face is covered with ice. It is difficult to see his expression and look. Garp is still laughing, even though he is surrounded by so many pirates. Even though he seems to have lost all his fighting power at this moment. But there is no fear on the face of this old marine hero. He looks very calm and composed. The picture freezes here. A large number of translucent bullets floated over it again. Shit. Garp was defeated just like that. No way. Could it be that Garp is really going to die on Beehive Island just like that? As a legendary marine hero, wasn't Garp defeated too hastily? It was all caused by Coby, that burden. If it wasn't for Coby's attack, Garp would never have been defeated so quickly. Yes, no matter what, Garp was a legendary marine hero who chased Roger all over the world. No matter how strong the Blackbeard pirates were, they could never have defeated Garp so easily. Thinking back to the Summit War, Whitebeard, who was old and seriously ill and was stabbed by a filial son, was able to hold out for so long under the battle of countless marines and 3 admirals. Garp's defeat was too sudden. This wave of defeats can be said to have ruined Garp's reputation and plummeted his status. Think about it, when Garp first landed on Beehive Island, he was simply invincible, right? Who could have thought that he would be dead so soon? I can only say that this is a plot kill to highlight the hard-working guy, Coby. Not to mention Garp, even if I came, he must be here today. In fact, I think Garp was caught on purpose. Don't forget that Aokiji's frozen fruit ability can directly freeze the entire sea surface. If Garp also got on the ship might really be unable to leave. Closing square bracket. That makes sense, so Garp is trading his life for the lives of Coby and his crew. That's disgusting. Using Garp's life to trade for Coby's life, this deal is definitely a huge loss. Damn it, this plot has brought my disgust for the deserter King Coby to a new level. Could Coby, this beast, please die soon? Don't stay in this world and continue to harm others. If Garp really died on Beehive Island, Coby would have destroyed naval headquarters, the Revolutionary Army, and the Straw Hat Pirates. That's true, but I feel that Garp shouldn't die so easily, otherwise it would be too hasty. Closing square bracket. Don't be fooled by the fact that Garp in the video is covered in ice and there is an ice spike in the wound, but maybe that is actually Aokiji helping Garp to cool down and stop the bleeding, dog head. Ha 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 ha. Damn ice to stop bleeding. But you know what, maybe this is really possible. Even if Aokiji really betrayed, he should not be able to watch Garp being killed, so I think Garp's life safety should still be guaranteed. That's right, and didn't Blackbeard want to use Coby as a bargaining chip to get the world government to recognize Beehive Island as a legitimate country? Now that Garp is in hand, the bargaining chip is even greater. Blackbeard must be reluctant to kill Garp like this. Closing square bracket. But even so, this does not prevent the fact that Coby, the BD, deserves to die. If it weren't for Coby, how could Garp have fallen to this point? You can stop being the Pirate King, but Coby and Momonosuke, both of these bastards, must die. Opening square bracket comma ... closing square bracket. Sengoku. Garp actually fell into the hands of the Blackbeard pirates. Crane. This kind of thing is a huge shock to us Marines. Borsalino. Vice Admiral Garp was caught. This is too scary. Kuzan. Mr. Garp. Sakazuki. Humph. The culprits of all this are you, Kuzan, and that deserter King Coby. If it weren't for the two of you, Vice Admiral Garp would never have been caught. Coby. Vice Admiral Garp. It was because of saving me that he fell to this end. Monkey D. Dragon. The old man was actually caught in the future, captured by the Blackbeard pirates. Monkey D. Luffy. Damn it, Grandpa. Don't worry, I will definitely rescue you from the Blackbeard pirates. Monkey D. Garp. Ha 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 ha. Look at you all, why are you making such a fuss? Isn't it just being captured? I have never been captured in my life, just taking this opportunity to experience the feeling of being a prisoner. Gall D. Roger. Ha 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 ha. You even want to experience being a prisoner. Garp, you are really worthy of it. Rox D. Zebek. You should have said this earlier. If you had said it earlier, Lousy would have helped you realize this wish no matter what. Marshall D. Zebek. The legendary Marine hero Vice Admiral Garp was actually captured by my Blackbeard pirates in the future. This is really something worth showing off. Ha ha ha. Giza's Badgers. This is all thanks to that guy named Coby Marine. If it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have had such a chance to capture the Marine hero Garp alive. Van Oka. Indeed, in a sense, we should thank this deserter king. Lafitte. Who said this deserter king is bad? This deserter king is awesome. Poison Q. Haha, deserter king did a great job. I hope you keep up the good work, and it would be best if you could trap Sengoku, the Marine Marshal, for us. Coby. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. As Garp is captured by the Blackbeard pirates. Oh, Coby and others successfully escaped from Beehive Island on a warship. Then, accompanied by the members of the Blade team, he went to the Marine GS General Hospital for treatment. During the treatment, Vegapunk died. He began to give a speech to the world. The information contained in it was quite explosive. It even hinted at some truth about One Piece. Vegapunk mentioned at the end, "As long as you get One Piece, You can control the fate of the whole world. After listening to what Vegapunk said, Coby, lying on the bed, suddenly recalled the scene when he first met Luffy. Recalling Luffy's dream of taking One Piece and becoming the Pirate King. Recalling these scenes, then connected with Vegapunk's revelations just now, Coby's face suddenly showed a serious expression. He said to himself in a deep voice, "Mr. Luffy, I must stop your dream." The picture freezes here. A dense army of bullet comments floated over again. Opening square bracket question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing square bracket. Opening square bracket question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing square bracket. Opening square bracket question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing square bracket. No, Coby, are you okay? Do you want to listen to what you are saying? This guy actually wants to stop Luffy's dream. He is really an ungrateful BD. If Luffy's dream and firm belief had not inspired you, you would probably still be sweeping the toilet under Alvida. I have never seen such an ungrateful and shameless person. You still want to stop Luffy's dream. Why don't you think about how to save Garp first? Yeah, Luffy's grandfather just sacrificed himself to save you, but you turned around and ignored Garp, and instead started thinking about how to stop Luffy's dream. Are you still a human? The identification is complete. Uombi is definitely a pure beast. Damn, this beast really makes me sick. I strongly suggest that Coby die. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. Monkey D. Luffy. What? Coby said he wants to stop my dream. No one can stop my dream. Rocks D. Zebek. Tisk 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 tisk. I have seen many ungrateful bastards, but this is the first time I have seen an ungrateful BD like Coby. John. His ungratefulness has reached the point where even those of us who have never met him can't help but curse at him. Silver Axe. Ha 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 ha. This guy named Coby really opened my eyes. Akoku. Sure enough, it is not unreasonable that he can be ranked second on the sailing must-kill list in this video. This is a real beast. Shiki. I just don't know who is the first on the list of the best sailors. He is actually ranked above Coby, such an ungrateful deserter king. Kaido. Coby, who ranks second on the list of the best sailors, is already such a beast, and I don't know what kind of outrageous things the first guy has done. Charlotte Linlin. Well, after scolding Coby, I am ready to scold the beast who ranks first on the list of the best sailors. Wood expulsion, and Chapter 109 Top 1 on the sailing must-kill list, 5 Elders Satan. Inside the movie screen, all the videos about Coby have been played. The screen briefly fell into darkness again. Then, under everyone's curiosity and expectation, the beast who ranked first on the list of must-kill sailors. It was also revealed with a low voiceover. The beast on the list of must-kill sailors TOP1, Jaegolucia Satan Saint. The moment the voice fell, the movie chat group was once again in a storm. Saint Jaegolucia Satan, Saint Azamburn v. Nasushulong, Saint Shepherd Ten Pit, Saint Topman Vochuli, Saint Makas Mosh, Saint Jaegolucia Satan. What's up with this video? How come I'm ranked first on this must-kill list for sailing? Saint Azamburn v. Nasushulong. We are the 5 elders who are high above us. We are the highest authority of the world government. The person who made this video is really bold. 1. Saint Shepherd Ten Pit. Satan is listed as the first beast on the must-kill list for sailing. This is not just an insult to him alone, but to all of us 5 elders. Elders insults. Topman Vochuli Saint. Even if it is a video played by the viewing system, our city elders will never tolerate such insulting content. Marcus Mosh Saint. This is absurd. It's simply too much. Don't let us know who made this video, otherwise we will never forgive him. Rox D. Zebek. PFF'd. I thought who was the beast number 1 on the sailing must-kill list. It turned out to be one of the 5 elders. Reasonable. John. Look at the 5 elders, they are so angry, it's really funny, ha 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 ha. Silver Axe. They must have never thought that they, who are so high up as 860, would be called beasts one day. Akoku. They actually want to find the person who made this video to settle accounts. This is really angry. Shiki. Ha ha ha. The power of this viewing system is far beyond our imagination. It's strange that they can find the person who made this video. Kaido. In the end, the 5 elders are just raging with incompetence. Charlotte Linlin. It's really a pleasant thing to see these 5 old guys get humiliated. Edward Newgate. Gulala, but I'm curious, why is Satan the Beast on the list of must-kill sailors, and not one of the other 4-5 elders? Gall D. Roger. It seems that Satan is the most hated one among the 5 elders, ha 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 ha. Shanks. If I remember correctly, in Buggy's previous inventory video, the composition of the 5 elders seemed to have changed in the future, and Satan was replaced, right? Ben Beckman. But it seems that a lot of the content about that section is fictional, not necessarily real information, so I don't know whether Satan will be replaced in the future or not. Silver Rayleigh. Since he has already been ranked first on the list of must-kill sailors, it might be true. Maybe he has been killed in the future, so he will be replaced. Jagalucia Satan Saint. Humph. It's just nonsense. I am the 5 elders who are high above. Who dares to kill me? Who can kill me? In the heated discussion of the crowd. Inside the viewing screen, on the originally dark screen, a figure also slowly emerged. This is a burly old man, wearing a black suit, holding a cane in his hand, white curly hair, growing a fluffy white beard, wearing a black noble flat hat on his head. There is a striking scar on the left side of his face, in a pair of old eyes, revealing a high and mighty arrogance and disdain for the things around him. It is one of the 5 elders, the god of science and defense, Jagalucia Satan Saint. The screen freezes. The semi-transparent army of bullets begins to emerge from the screen. Here it comes. Another beast that must die has appeared. Satan, the old Biden, deserves to die more than Momonosuke and Coby in my mind. If I have to choose one of the 3 beasts, Momonosuke, Coby and Satan, to die, then I will definitely choose Satan without hesitation. I am different. Only children make choices. I just want the 3 of them to die together. Dog head. That's right. The 3 of them are pure beasts. There is no one who comes first or last. It's better for them all to die. Agree. They are all beasts on the list of must-kill characters in the sea. What's the order? Let's all die together. Opening square bracket dash 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 closing square bracket. Satan's figure appeared on the screen for a while, and then slowly dissipated. Then, the video started playing. However, the video played next did not start with Satan. Instead, it played the life of another person. 45 years ago, in the boy's kingdom of Seoul, a boy with the blood of the Baconian tribe was born. The Baconian tribe is a very special race. They also have some blood of the giants in their bodies. This is a race that once committed a great crime against the world government. Just like the Lunaria tribe that Jin belongs to, the Baconian tribe has also been hunted down by the world government. Now it is on the verge of extinction. The news that this little boy has the blood of the Baconian tribe was soon known to the world government through the hospital of the Kingdom of Seoul. Not long after, the little boy and his parents were all captured by the world government and became miserable slaves. The boy's father is named Kulap, and this little boy with the blood of the Baconian tribe. The name is Bartholomew Kuma, Sengoku. Shouldn't the protagonist of this video be Satan? Why is the first thing played related to Bartholomew Kuma? Closing square bracket, Crane. And the content of this video actually starts from Bartholomew Kuma's childhood. Does it have anything to do with Sakan? Closing square bracket, Borsellino. That's really weird. Kuzan. Oh lala, could it be that the viewing system played the wrong video? Closing square bracket, Sakazuki. Silly question, when did you see the viewing system make a mistake? Since it plays like this, there must be a reason for it to do so. Closing square bracket, Monkey D. Luffy. Bartholomew Kuma, such a familiar name. Closing square bracket, Rorano Azoro. Of course I am familiar with him. This is your uncle, Luffy. He was played in the previous video. He is the 7 warlords of the sea who slapped us all away in the Sabayati archipelago. Monkey D. Luffy. Soga. No wonder I feel this name is so familiar. Isn't Uncle Bear a good person? Why does he appear in this video of the list of must-kill sailing? Vinsmoke Sanji. Forget it, with your IQ, I'm afraid you can't understand these, you should just watch the video honestly. Monkey D. Dragon. This video actually starts to show Bear's life. Bear's life is not easy. Emporio Ivankov. I can already foresee how heartbreaking the next video will be. M. Sabo. Mr. Bear. Jewelry Bonnie. Father. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. After being captured as a slave by the world government, Bear's mother soon died because she couldn't bear the beating and abuse. Although Kulap and Bear suffered the same treatment, but due to the strong blood and physical fitness of the Bacania people, this allowed the two of them to hold on. Their lives were not endangered. The day the mother bear died, Kulap came to the bear with wounds all over his body. He first forced a smile at the bear. He asked with concern, "Big Bear, are you okay?" Although he had suffered a lot of inhuman abuse, but in front of his father, the bear still pretended to be strong and smiled easily. "Dad, my master is very good. I am very lucky. Don't worry, I'm fine." After a conversation, the father and son sat side by side. Until then, Kulap mustered up the courage to speak to the bear. "Rast, she is in heaven now." When he said this, the tall and strong middle-aged man could no longer hold back. He burst into tears. "That would be better, isn't it? This is a world where death is better." Hearing his father's words, the bear couldn't help but burst into tears. And Kulap comforted him. "Listen, Big Bear, you are strong. You have to live with humiliation." While crying, the bear asked in confusion, "Why? Quote. I really want to die." Kulap forced a smile on his face. Explained to the bear in a firm tone. "Liberation Warrior will definitely appear. He will come to save you." The bear asked puzzledly, "Liberation Warriors? Who is that?" Hearing the bear's question, Kulap's face suddenly showed a look of admiration and longing. He smiled and replied, "Sun God Nika, that is the name of our Bacania tribe that has been passed down from generation to generation. The name of the legendary warrior. One day, he will take you to the free sea. You can enjoy the sun. Nika is always laughing. He will bring such a rhythm that makes people laugh." Speaking, Kulap supported his seriously injured body again. He began to perform Nika's dance for the young bear. While he was dancing, he was also making a rhythmic sound similar to drum beats. Dong dong, dong dong, dong dong, dong dong, dong dong, dong dong. Looking at his father's funny dance moves, listening to the very rhythmic drum beats, Shang felt that his bad mood was swept away. His tears stopped instantly. A bright smile appeared on his face. But this smile just appeared on Shang's face. The next moment, it was instantly frozen by a gunshot that sounded without any warning. Bang! Accompanied by the gunshot sounded in his ears. Kulap, who was still dancing the Nika dance, fell to the ground instantly. Bloody blood flowed from under him. Instantly dyed the whole ground red. A celestial dragon appeared not far away. He was holding a musket in his hand. The gunshot just now came from the other party. The celestial dragons looked at Kulap lying in a pool of blood. There was no mercy in his eyes. Only anger and displeasure. He shouted at the fallen Kulap. "Scream to death, you humble slave. Who allowed you to yell here?" After saying that, the celestial dragons did not look at the fallen Kulap again. He turned around and left with his gun. Kulap fell in a pool of blood. His life began to fade away rapidly. Originally, with his strong physical fitness as a Bacania tribe, a mere gunshot wound was not enough to be fatal. But before that, as a slave of celestial dragons, Kulap had already suffered a lot of inhuman abuse. His body was already seriously injured. Now the celestial dragons shot. Naturally, it became the last straw that broke the camel's back. Just like that, Kulap died in front of the bear. The bear, who had just lost his mother not long ago, lost his father again. Such a cruel reality made Neng suffer a major blow. The whole person almost collapsed. He wanted to cry loudly, but he was afraid that his crying would cause the celestial dragon's dissatisfaction again. So he could only cover his mouth tightly, hiding in the corner and crying silently. His parents died one after another. Bear had thought about ending it all. For him, this is a world where death is better. But every time Bear had such a thought in his mind, he would remember what his father had said to him before. No matter what, he must live with humiliation. Liberation warrior, sun god Nika. One day he will appear. Take him to the sea of freedom. With such a belief and vision, Bear always gritted his teeth and persisted. No matter how much abuse he suffered, he stood up very strong. 0.5 Always stick to the promise with his father. No matter what, he must live with humiliation. The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments passed by. FK. Big Bear's childhood was really miserable. He was captured as a slave by the world government when he was young, and his parents died one after another, especially his father Kulap, who died right in front of him. Damn, the celestial dragons are really beasts. I think they should also be on this list of must-kill sailors. I have to say that Big Bear is really strong. He suffered such inhuman treatment since he was young, but he was able to endure humiliation and live on, and he is still so kind and warm. I really don't understand why someone as gentle and kind as Big Bear would be called a tyrant by the world. After such a miserable childhood, even if Big Bear really became a tyrant, I would understand him, but the key is that he didn't, and he still has a warm and kind heart. I suggest Doflamingo come and learn from him. Didn't he say to Luffy, if you experienced my childhood, you might not be half as kind as me? Doghead. Big Bear's childhood experience as more Doflamingo is even worse, but he is so much kinder than Doflamingo. Doghead Doflamingo. If you had experienced my childhood, you might not be half as kind as me. Bartholomew Kuma. Really, I don't believe it. Doghead Bartholomew Kuma. Brother, if you are a rookie, just practice more and don't make excuses for your evil. 10 Doghead Luffy. If you had experienced my childhood, you might not be able to survive. Doghead ha 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 ha. Are you devils? Doflamingo. Are you polite? Doghead Politeness. Are you Doflamingo? Doghead Don Quixote Doflamingo. Chapter 110 The Battle of God Valley breaks out. All-star lineup of pirates. Jewelry Bonnie. Watching the tragic childhood of Big Bear in the video, Jewelry Bonnie felt as if her heart was being cut by a knife. An unspeakable pain spread in her heart. She didn't expect. Her father's childhood was so miserable. In her impression, her father has always been a warm and kind person. He is full of kindness towards everything in this world. Someone as gentle as her father should have grown up in love. But now after watching this video, Bonnie realized that her father's childhood was so miserable. Quote. Watching the scenes in the video, Bonnie felt a burst of heart-wrenching pain. If the whole world had not been frozen by the viewing system at this moment, I'm afraid she would have cried a long time ago. Sengoku. His family was taken as slaves when he was young, his parents died one after another, and his father died right in front of him. Bartholomew Kuma's childhood was indeed quite miserable. Monkey D. Garp. Damn. In the end, all of this was caused by those damn celestial dragons. Those celestial dragons have done similar things before. Suru. Indeed, Bartholomew Kuma's childhood tragedy is not an isolated case, and it can even be said that it is not uncommon in this sea. Borsalino. Celestial dragons can also see these conversations in the movie chat group. Can you say this? Kuzan. Alala. As expected of an older generation of Marines, you dare to say these words in front of so many people, you are not afraid at all. Sakazuki. In fact, it is not just celestial dragons. Have those pirates done less evil? I can only say, because of the pirates, burning, killing, looting, and doing evil, there are many people who had a more miserable childhood than Bartholomew Kuma. Rox D. Zebek. Yo, are you starting to change the subject? It was celestial dragons who caused Bartholomew Kuma's childhood tragedy in this video. Why are you starting to direct your firepower to us pirates? John. Tisk. Garp, a Marine Vice Admiral, dared to directly scold celestial dragons in front of so many people. Why don't you Marine Admirals dare to scold them? Silver Axe. Ha ha ha, it seems that people as brave as Garp are still a minority in naval headquarters. 13 Akoku. But then again, judging from the current video, there doesn't seem to be anything about Satan from the Five Elders, right? Shiki. Indeed, judging from the current video content, the ones who should really die should be the celestial dragons. Gal D. Roger. Could it be that because the 5 elders are the leaders of the celestial dragons, the video puts all the blame on Satan? Edward Newgate. Gulala, it's not impossible, but why is Satan the number 1 on the naval must-kill list, and not the other 4-5 elders? Kaido. I always feel that the next video should have more exciting content. Charlotte Linlin. More exciting content. The more the better. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Bartholomew Kuma's slavery lasted for several years. Time flies. Soon it was 36 years ago. That is, the year 1484 of the Sea Circle calendar. At this time, Bartholomew Kuma was 9 years old. He was taken to the Valley of Gods with many slaves. This is an independent kingdom that has not joined the world government. The island has rich resources. The celestial dragons hold the Human Hunting Conference every 3 years. They chose this kingdom called the Valley of Gods as the venue for this competition. All the natives of the Valley of Gods kingdom, in addition to slaves such as bears and criminals, they are the targets of the vice admiral's hunting in this Human Hunting Conference. They are also called rabbits. The hunters responsible for hunting them are a group of celestial dragons and the knights of God who are responsible for protecting celestial dragons. Soon, this inhumane human hunting conference was held as scheduled. Nearly 100,000 inches rabbits fled around the island, and these 100,000 Twotu will be completely slaughtered in less than 3 weeks. Before the conference began, young Bartholomew Kuma tried to escape, but he was quickly caught by the soldiers of the world government and was severely beaten. Not only that, his behavior also aroused the dissatisfaction of other slaves in the same group with him. How dare you escape without permission? The slaves of the 10-man group are jointly responsible. If you run away, we will all die together. The beaten bear lay on the ground, listening to the accusations of other slaves around him, not moving. But at this moment, 2 figures suddenly appeared on the boulder not far away. They were also 2 young children. One was a thin girl with short hair and Madara on her face. The other was a guy with a particularly large face and a purple afro, and it was hard to tell whether he was a man or a woman. It was the young Ginny and Emporio Ivankov. Ivankov stood on the boulder, looking at Bartholomew Kuma below. Raising his hands, he said excitedly, "Hee-haw, you are the Bacani tribe that everyone is paying attention to this time. I see, you are really big. I heard that you have the blood of the giant tribe." Ginny, who was standing by, was chewing the chicken leg in her hand, pointing at Ivankov and said, "My eldest brother is also big, right?" Ivankov responded excitedly, "Only his face is big." He glanced at the people below again. Waving his arms, he said, "Idiot, why are you all like eggplants hit by frost? I want to survive. What about you?" The other slaves who heard this showed hesitation and despair on their faces. They saw no hope at all and lamented, "I have never seen so many warships." Quote, "This island has been completely surrounded by the marine and world government. There is no doubt that no one can escape." Quote, "And this kind of thing actually happened in reality. Even this fact itself, it will be completely erased from history." Ivankov stood on the boulder and continued, "The indigenous people were driven out to plunder resources. Play another killing game by the way. There are about 100,000 escapees on this island. In 3 weeks, all of them will be dead. It's hard to believe, right? Is this really the real world?" At this time, a slave suddenly said, "DTE, as long as we can survive these 3 weeks, can we regain our freedom?" Ivankov approached the slave. He said in an extremely indignant tone, "Recovery. The number of survivors in previous hunting human conferences. But all of them are 0. Hearing this, the slave asked in confusion, "Hey, if it's a lie, why did they leave us a glimmer of hope?" Ivankov answered seriously, "Because there is hope. You will try harder to escape, right? Humans who are desperately lying there and being slaughtered. What's the point of killing them? To survive this stinking game. It's just a pipe dream. What we should do, escape from this game." Then, Ginny on the side began to add, "The prize of this competition is the key to our escape. One is the strongest level devil fruit that can be transformed into the mythical beast Azure Dragon after eating it. The other devil fruit, it has the ability to shoot yourself or others to a distant island. It's called the meatball fruit. And now these 2 devil fruits. On this island, Ivankov said to the slaves in front of him with an extremely excited look. As long as one of us eats that fruit, it's no problem to get dozens of people out of this hell and the encirclement of the marine. However, Ivankov had just finished speaking when a slave retorted pessimistically, "No, there's no chance. The prize is in the center of the island. It's heavily guarded there. We'd be courting death if we went there. It's impossible to get those 2 devil fruits." Facing the slave's pessimistic attitude, Ginny smiled indifferently and said, "I'm an expert in stealing, eavesdropping, and communications. I spread the information about this island 2 weeks ago. Maybe someone will receive it. There should be a big commotion by then. Those Marines probably won't have time to take care of us." Quote, "As for our battle plan, we are still missing a bait." As soon as someone was mentioned as the bait, the slaves immediately lowered their heads. Obviously, no one wanted to be the bait. They didn't want to take on this most dangerous job. But at this moment, Bartholomew Kuma, who had been listening silently, suddenly raised his hand and said, "As for the bait, let me be the bait. With my big body, I should be able to live longer than others." Quote. Seeing someone die, hearing the big bear's words, feeling the other party's determination, Ginny was stunned for a moment. And Ivankov smiled and said, "Hee-haw, well said, Yin Shang. I will never let you get killed. Let's escape from the Valley of Gods together." After some discussion, everyone immediately started to act. They began to fight to seize the devil, which was the prize of this human hunting conference. Fruit is preparing. Meanwhile, on the sea near the Valley of the Gods, pirate ships are coming towards this side aggressively. These pirate ships have just appeared. They fired at the marine warships guarding the Valley of the Gods without hesitation. Boom, bang, accompanied by loud explosions. Several marine warships were sunk directly, and the marine soldiers on other warships, after seeing the pirate ships coming quickly towards this side, and the pirate flags hanging on the pirate ships, they all exclaimed, "It's Rock's pirate!" Rock's pirate appeared in the eastern waters of the Valley of the Gods. TXI, it's not just their pirate group. Many notorious pirates are here. Amid the marine soldiers' exclamations, Rock's pirate took the lead. He landed on the shore of the Valley of the Gods first. Except for Rock's D. Zebek, who is currently known as the Overlord of the Sea. Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Big Mom, Kaido, John, Silver Axe, Akoku, Stussy, and Granny New are all in this lineup. The lineup is quite luxurious. The reason why they attacked God Valley this time is to seize the prizes of this human hunting conference. Those top-level devil fruits. Everyone in Rock's pirate is eager to try. Everyone wants to get this rare treasure. In addition to Rock's pirate, there is also a very remarkable pirate group that landed in God Valley at this time. That is the 143 Roger pirates led by Roger. Seeing so many pirates descending on God Valley, the celestial dragons panicked immediately. There is no need to care about the human hunting conference. All Marines and Knights of God were summoned back, responsible for protecting the safety of celestial dragons. Not long after the Roger pirates landed in God Valley, Garp, who had been chasing Roger all over the world, also quickly led a group of Marines to the Valley of the Gods for support. For a while, this Valley of the Gods was crowded with people from all directions. Rock's pirate, Roger pirates, Marine Army, and Knights of God, etc. A world-shaking battle unfolded on this island. The picture freezes here. The army of bullet comments quickly passed by. Wow, this wave is really an all-star lineup of pirates. The scale of this Valley of the Gods battle is so terrifying that even some at war can't compare to this, right? Isn't that right? Don't you think about it, how many famous pirates there are in Rock's pirate alone. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, 3 of the future 4 emperors alone. And at this time Whitebeard is young and strong, and his fighting power is absolutely fierce. So many strong men gathered on a small island to fight. No wonder after this battle, the Valley of the Gods was wiped off the map. And who could have thought? The mastermind behind the outbreak of this war was Ginny, who was only 13 years old at the time. If it weren't for Ginny spreading the news of the Valley of the Gods, these pirates would never have gathered on this island. Ha ha ha, Ginny is really awesome. She provoked this shocking Valley of the Gods war alone. If there hadn't been this Valley of the Gods war, Rocks, the overlord of the sea at that time, wouldn't have fallen so early, right? Indeed, although we still don't know what happened in Valley of the Gods that day, there is no doubt that Rocks is definitely the biggest victim of this Valley of the Gods war. After all, in addition to Captain Rocks who died in Valley of the Gods, Rocks the pirate leaders are all alive and well, ha 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 ha. Roger Pirates and Garp are all safe, and the Knights of God don't seem to be hurt too much. So, Rocks is the only one who got hurt. Ha ha ha, Doghead. If Rocks knew that Ginny was the mastermind behind the Battle of God Valley, he would probably hate her to death, right? Doghead. Who would have thought that a generation of sea hegemony, such a powerful pirate, would be killed by a 13-year-old girl? This is really ridiculous. Doghead. Pass it on. The sea hegemon Rocks was killed by a 13-year-old girl. Doghead. Ginny. You are called Rocks, right? If you are a rookie, practice more, Doghead. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Rocks D. Zebek. Chapter 111 The Hand of Liberation. I think this old lady still has her charm. Doghead. Edward Newgate. Gulala. So the news about the Valley of the Gods was released by the little girl named Ginny in the video. Kaido. Thanks to that little girl, Lousy was able to obtain the mythical beast Azure Dragon Fruit. So I owe her a favor. Charlotte Linlin. Hey, Kaido, what do you mean you owe that little girl a favor? You obviously owe me a favor, right? I snatched the Azure Dragon Fruit and gave it to you. Shiki. Ha ha ha, so the old captain's death was caused by that little girl named Ginny. This little girl is really something. Gall D. Roger. Ha ha ha. Rocks, you must be very happy after seeing this, right? Rocks D. Zebek. I am happy. Damn little girl, if it weren't for her, Lousy wouldn't have died so young. Monkey D. Garp. Haha, it seems that the little girl named Ginny really deserves a great achievement. Sengoku. The Battle of God Valley was caused by a little girl. It really makes people sigh at the wonder of fate. Ginny. Haha, I didn't expect that I would accidentally trigger a historic war. I am really amazing. Bartholomew Kuma. Ginny. Jewelry Bonnie. Mother. Monkey D. Dragon. The rule of world government and celestial dragons is too cruel. Every 3 years, they hold a human hunting conference. Every 3 years, a non-member country will be completely destroyed by them. We must overthrow such a rule. Emporio Ivankov. That's right. In order to prevent the tragedies we experienced back then from happening again, we must overthrow the cruel rule of world government and celestial dragons. Sabo. Countries like God Valley have done nothing wrong. They just chose not to join world government, and suffered such a catastrophic disaster for no reason. Monkey D. Luffy. The celestial dragons are really annoying, so I beat them up at the previous auction. On the viewing screen, the video continues to play. The Rocks Pirate, Roger Pirates, Garp and others have arrived one after another. The Valley of the Gods, which was originally holding the Human Hunting Conference, fell into an unprecedented chaos. And with the cover of this chaos, Bartholomew Kuma and Emporio Ivankov also successfully arrived at the center of the island. Found the 2 devil fruits stored as prizes. Blue dragon fruit and meatball fruit. In the picture, I saw Kuma and Ivankov each holding a devil fruit. At this moment, they are carefully looking at it. The bear looked at the devil fruit in his hand and asked curiously, "Is this what we are looking for?" Ivankov nodded and said, "Yes, that's right, although I don't know which one is which. Just eat it anyway." Ivankov was about to put the devil fruit in his hand into his mouth. Righto. Just then, a figure suddenly rushed over from not far away. He grabbed Ivankov's neck directly. At the same time, he snatched the devil fruit from the other party's hand. The person who suddenly attacked was actually the young ant. Charlotte Linlin, young and beautiful version. The picture freezes here. The army of barges passed by again. Hiss. So this is how the ant got the blue dragon fruit. I didn't expect that the blue dragon fruit was almost eaten by Ivankov, and Kaido almost missed the blue dragon fruit. Closing square bracket. If that were the case, he would not be Kaido of the Beasts now, but Ivankov of the Beasts. Ha 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 ha, Doghead. But fortunately, Big Mom showed up in time to take away the blue dragon fruit, and he was able to meet the hormone fruit that was more suitable for him after Venkatian, dog head. If Ivankov really ate the blue dragon fruit at this time, there would not only be one less, blue dragon Kaido, in the future, but also one less, say queen, dog head. If Ivankov and the devil fruit in Bear's hands were exchanged at that time, it would seem quite interesting. Closing square bracket. With Bear's strong physical fitness as a Bacani, if he ate the blue dragon fruit, his strength would be quite strong. Closing square bracket. But it is true that the ability of the meatball fruit is more suitable for Bear's personality. After all, he is such a gentle person. Closing square bracket. Ahem, am I the only one who focuses on the young ant? I think she still has her charm. Dog head. Haha, you are not the only one. There is a saying that the ant was really plump when she was young, unlike now, she is completely a fat woman, dog head Jong. It turns out that the ant was so beautiful when she was young, no wonder Kaido couldn't control himself, ha 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 ha, dog head. Opening square bracket dash 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 closing square bracket. Charlotte Linlin, Kaido. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. That was a close call. You, a little brat, almost ate such a precious devil fruit. The ant snatched the Vice Admiral Blue Dragon fruit from Ivankov's hand. Then she turned her attention to Bartholomew Kuma and the meatball fruit in his hand. Little brat, give me that too. The ant spoke coldly to the bear. At the same time, one hand quickly reached out to the other party. Seeing this, Ivankov hurriedly shouted anxiously. Eat it, Big Bear. Don't think about it. Eat that fruit. Save yourself, Big Bear. Even if only one person is saved. That's our victory. Under Ivankov's anxious urging, the bear didn't hesitate at all. Before the ant could move, he swallowed the meatball fruit in his hand in one gulp. And the next moment he swallowed the meatball fruit, a figure suddenly appeared beside the bear without any warning. It was a white-haired old man wearing a black suit and holding a cane. It was Saint Jagoluja Satan, one of the 5 elders. Satan knocked the bear to the ground with one punch. Then he looked down at the other party. He said in an extremely cold tone, Child of the Bacania tribe, you have only 2 ways to go, becoming a slave or dying. This is determined by history. Opposite. The bear slowly got up from the ground. He said in a trembling but firm voice, TTL, are you noble? Some people are born high and mighty. This is too strange, and if you are destined to be a slave at birth, then there is no meaning in being born. If I just gain some kind of power, then I hope I can be like Nika. Save more poor people, even if I save one more. Facing the 5 elders who are high and mighty and hold the top power in the world. The 9-year-old bear was not afraid at all. He looked directly into the other's eyes. The eyes revealed an extremely firm determination and will. Seeing this scene, listening to what the other party had just said, Satan's old face suddenly became gloomy. He whispered in a cold tone, So your tribe will disappear. The picture froze. The army of bullet screens floated over again. FK. Satan, the beast, appeared. The culprit that caused the tragedy in Shang's life is old Biden Satan. I really want to hit Satan when I see his face now. Huh, what are you hitting? The guy above, you'd better speak more completely, otherwise it's easy to be misunderstood. Dog head, you can hit Satan's old face. The guy above is really awesome. Dog head, Satan. It's human nature, no need to say sorry, dog head. It's human nature, actually not, quite the opposite. Dog head, ha 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 ha, enough of you little jokers. Let's get back to the point. The bear in the video was only 9 years old at this time, and he dared to face 5 elders. He is not even afraid at all. He is really awesome. More importantly, he is conscious. He said he wants to save more people like Nika. Is this really something a 9-year-old child can say? I have to say, Bear really has gentleness and kindness deeply engraved in his bones. Because of this, the gentler and kinder Bear is, the more it seems that Satan, the old man, deserves to die. When I think of what happened to Bear later, I want to kill Satan with my own hands. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Jagolucia Satan Saint, Rox D. Zebek. Ha 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 ha. I seem to gradually begin to understand why this video clearly lists Satan, the first on the list of must-kill sailors, but the video content is about the life of Bartholomew Kuma. John. It must be that Satan did something too much to Bartholomew Kuma, causing the creator of this video to be unable to bear it. Silver Axe. Maybe the beastly things that Satan did could really be so outrageous that it would be condemned by both humans and gods. Akoku. To be honest, I have long disliked people like the Five Elders. These comments just serve as my mouthpiece. Help me scold them. Gall D. Roger. That Bartholomew Kuma is really a man of integrity. He has such awareness at such a young age, and he is neither humble nor arrogant in front of the Five Elders. Edward Newgate. Such a warm and kind little guy should not choose to be a pirate, right? I am very curious about how he got on this path and became the 7 warlords of the sea today. Shanks. And Bartholomew Kuma also has the title of Tyrant. This doesn't seem to make sense no matter how you look at it, right? Silver Rayleigh. What happened to him in the past few years? Amidst everyone's curiosity and confusion, in the viewing screen, the video continues to play. The camera turns. Time soon came to the time after the Battle of God Valley. In this Battle of God Valley, the Sea Overlord Rox D. Zebek fell with hatred. Everything related to the Battle of God Valley was covered up. Even the entire God Valley Island was directly wiped off the map. Everything that happened here, all was buried under the dust of history. The scene came to a church in the kingdom of South Blue Soul. The young bear was kneeling on the ground of the church at this moment. Put his hands together, close his eyes tightly, praying very devoutly, and Ivankov and Ginny were beside him. Ivankov seemed to be a little impatient and asked, "Big Bear, how long are you going to pray?" The bear closed his eyes and answered softly, "When I think about the fact that I could have saved more people, Ivankov interrupted him. He said directly, "What nonsense are you talking about? You saved 500 lives from that chaos." Ginny also echoed from the side. "That's right, Bear, you were already very good. Everyone cried and thanked you, didn't they?" "I cried too." Ginny was moved to tears. Ivankov pointed at the bear's hands and smiled. "Your hands. They are the hands of liberation that can give people freedom." Hearing this, Bear slowly opened his eyes. He spread his hands. In the palms of both hands, there was a ball of flesh that looked like a bear's paw. Bear looked at his hands and murmured, "Z." After a short rest at Bear's home, Ivankov said goodbye to Bear and Ginny. "Well, then I'll go to sea. I'm going to sing the praises of freedom." Bear looked at Ivankov, who was ready to go, and said goodbye with a smile. "I will never forget your face, little Ivan." Ivankov smiled and responded, "Ha ha ha ha, no one can forget it." Ginny also said goodbye to Ivankov. "I plan to stay at Bear's home first. I'll think about the future slowly later." After a farewell, Ivankov went out to sea by boat. Ginny said to herself with full energy, "Okay, I am Big Bear's 4-year-old sister. We have to make sure this kid has food to eat." After the words fell, then the scene began to jump quickly. Nuo Li Jiao, Bear and Ginny began to live a happy and warm time. Relying on the strong physique of the Bacania people, Bear began to chop trees and firewood in the forest every day. Ginny helped him pick up and pile firewood, cheering for him. After chopping a lot of firewood, Bear would carry the firewood to the town to sell for money. Ginny sat on the back of the bear and chatted with him. Occasionally there would be some naughty children. Because the bear's size was far beyond that of his peers, he regarded the other party as a monster, throwing stones at him fiercely. At this time, the bear would not resist. Just hold his head and stand there, letting the other party hit him with stones. But the hot-tempered Ginny would directly teach those naughty kids a lesson. Beat them black and blue. But afterwards, Bear would use his meatball fruit ability to heal them, and apologize to those kids for Ginny's behavior. The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments passed by again. FK. Brothers, run. There are knives. When Bear said goodbye, he told Ivankov that he would never forget his face, but he still forgot it later. No wonder Ivankov reacted so strongly when he saw that Bear had forgotten him in Summit War. What Bear said to Ivankov is a flag in a sense. To be honest, Ginny is really cute. She is much smaller than Bear, but she feels like a big sister in front of Bear. It's really heartwarming for these two to live together. Bear and Ginny are such a perfect couple, right? I'll give my respect to this pair first. Bear and Ginny are really sweet, but I can't be happy at all when I think about what happened to them later. Damn. Damn celestial dragons. Damn world government. Damn Satan. Satan. This beast. Die. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket . Chapter 112. The Sudden Tragedy, Ginny's Farewell. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Bear and Ginny stayed in the kingdom of Solbay in South Blue. They lived a peaceful and happy time. Time passed day by day. 8 years after the incident in the Valley of the Gods, 17-year-old Bartholomew Kuma inherited his family's original church. He became a priest in the kingdom of Solbay. Every Sunday, he would use the power of his meatball fruit. He would help the elderly people living around him to eliminate their pain for free. Such actions made the residents of the kingdom of Solbay feel good about Bear. They trusted and loved each other very much. However, what they didn't know was these pains that Bear expelled with the power of the meatball fruit. If they were not received by people in time, it would not take long for them to return to their original bodies again. And in order to avoid this situation, those pains that were expelled, all were absorbed by Bear alone. Every time, Bear would be tortured by those pains and bruises all over his body. Even with his strong physique as a member of the Bacanian tribe, he couldn't help but scream under such painful torture. After each operation like this, Ginny would be very distressed to help Bear treat him. She gave him meticulous care. In the picture, Bear was lying on the bed with injuries all over his body. Ginny was sitting beside the bed. She was very gentle and careful to help him apply ice packs and wipe his body. Ginny's eyes were filled with tears of heartache and reluctance. She whispered, "You have to do this every week. But everyone doesn't know how painful you are." The bear lying on the bed just grinned and said, "Dit. The collection of pain and suffering must be received by someone before it disappears. If you leave it alone, it will eventually return to the original owner. Seeing everyone so happy makes me happier than anything else," said. Shanks suddenly looked at Ginny with a guilty look, and continued, "But I made you worry about me. I'm sorry. I will train hard to make myself stronger." The picture freezes. The army of bullet comments passed by. "Bear is so gentle and kind. I am really crying. He would rather bear all the pain by himself than heal the wounds of the residents around him for free. He is simply the ultimate good man. He suffered so many misfortunes when he was a child and saw the darkest side of the world, but he can still be kind and look to the light. Bear's quality is really rare. When I think of such a kind person being called a tyrant later, I feel that these 367 worlds are really rotten. This is the power of public opinion, and this power is completely in the hands of the world government. The time he lived with Ginny in the kingdom of Solby should be the happiest time of Bear's life, right? I really hope that both of them can have a good ending, but unfortunately, Guang. Alas, judging from this pace, it won't be long before he will be stabbed." Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Time flies. 5 years passed quickly. In the past 5 years, Shang and Ginny still lived happily in the church of the kingdom of Solby. The days were very peaceful. And one day when Shang was 22 years old, Ginny suddenly said to Shang excitedly, "Let's get married." A bar. Hearing this, the bear seemed a little panicked. He hesitated for a moment and refused. 18. Ginny asked in confusion. "Why? Come and get married, you little brat. You obviously love me a lot, don't you? I will make you happy." The bear looked a little hesitant. He stammered, "I also think I will be very happy." Quote. Speaking of this, the bear suddenly paused. He couldn't help but recall what his parents had experienced. His mother was just an ordinary human. But because of his father's identity as a member of the Bacani tribe, she was implicated. He still clearly remembered the desperate scene when his father begged those people of the world government to let his mother go. That's why. He didn't want Ginny to be implicated because of him. He didn't want Ginny to follow the same path as his mother. Thinking of this, the bear quickly changed the subject. He picked up the newspaper on the dining table. Pointing to a piece of news above, he said, "Look, another report about the self-defense forces. They have triggered large-scale demonstrations in various countries. This time they are really wanted. The bear looked at the wanted poster of Long published on the photo. He continued with admiration. Long. This guy is so cool. He must be a hero in other people's hearts, right? One day I will go to sea too. Spend your life helping others. As the bear continued to talk, the topic of marriage was also brought up. B-Day, Ginny felt very helpless about this. But in fact, she also knew very well what the concerns in the bear's heart were. She did not hold a grudge because of this. She continued to live happily with the bear as usual. The picture was frozen here. The army of barges passed by again. FK. Shang, you should quickly agree to Ginny. It is so rare for a girl to propose to a boy, but Shang actually refused. Promise her. Shang, I order you to agree to her. Alas, the reason why Shang refused Ginny's proposal was actually because he didn't want to drag her down. He really always thinks about others. Ginny couldn't be unaware of this, and even though she knew this, she still wanted to marry Shang without hesitation, which means that she is willing to accept all the consequences of all this. Both Shang and Ginny are definitely good people, and they are also quite a match. I order you two to get married right there. Alas, the more they are like this, the more I feel sorry and angry about their future. Why do such kind people have to suffer such unfair treatment? On the viewing screen, the video continues to play. 3 years passed quickly. Shang also reached the age of 25. This year, the king of Seoul Kingdom issued a new policy. He wanted to divide Seoul Kingdom into 2 halves. In order to reduce the tribute of Tianshangjian, the north continued to enjoy the protection of the country, and the south where the Bear's Church and the elderly people were located. It became a lawless place without anyone's jurisdiction. In short, the bears and the elderly people were all abandoned by Seoul Kingdom. Not only that, the king of Seoul Kingdom also issued another policy. That is the abandoned residents of the southern region. They can be used at will by the residents of the northern region under the protection and jurisdiction of the kingdom. In other words, the residents of the northern region can capture the residents of the southern region as their slaves without any scruples. Many residents of the southern region suffered from this. After learning the news, the bear immediately rushed to the northern region in great anger. He made a big fuss. He asked those high-ranking guys to release all the abducted southern residents. However, the king of the kingdom of Seoul ignored it. Instead, he summoned a large army to suppress the bear. The bear, who was unwilling to hurt innocent people, could not let go. In the end, he had no choice but to be captured. He was imprisoned. Not long after, Ginny and many residents of the southern region were also imprisoned. But fortunately, the self-brave army led by Long and Ivankov soon arrived in this country. They successfully drove away the king of the kingdom of Seoul, and abolished the slavery system established by the other party. The kingdom of Seoulby was liberated. Bear, Ginny and others also regained their freedom. Ivankov looked at Bear and Ginny, who had reunited after a long separation. He shouted, "Big Bear, Ginny, I'm here to pick you up. Hey, Big Bear, if you are still the same as you were then, come with us to change the world." Just like that, Bear and Ginny naturally joined the team of Dragon and Ivankov. They began to travel around the world with everyone. They continued to liberate those enslaved and oppressed countries. They continued to expand their own power. Later, the world-famous Revolutionary Army was gradually formed in this process. Time flies. Another 8 years have passed. After 8 years of development and growth, the scale of the Revolutionary Army has gradually matured. Dragon, Ivankov and Bear have become the 3 absolute pillars of the Revolutionary Army. And Ginny has also become the captain of the Eastern Army of the Revolutionary Army. Everything seems to be developing in a good direction. Exito. During a mission, an accident happened. Ginny was spotted by a celestial dragon because of her outstanding appearance. In order to get Ginny, the celestial dragon summoned a large number of world government troops without hesitation. He used the most primitive method to forcibly capture Ginny, and brought her back to the Holy Land Mariajoy to be his wife. The scene freezes again. Dense comments floated by. FK. Ginny was captured by celestial dragons to be his wife. Damn, is this going to be a torture? Why did they suddenly start playing NTR? Bear was cheated by celestial dragons. This is too disgusting. No, I can't accept this fact. I don't accept it either. It's too disgusting. Think about it. Even we, the audience, can't accept this, and how desperate must Bear and Ginny, the parties involved, be. Speaking of which, his revolutionary partner was captured by celestial dragons, and he was such an important cadre as the commander of the Eastern Army. Why didn't Long lead the revolutionary army to rescue Ginny? Oh, this can't be blamed on Long. After all, the revolutionary army had just matured at that time, and its power was not strong, and Ginny was captured by celestial dragons directly to the holy land of Mariajoy. Closing square bracket. If you want to rescue Ginny, you must lead people to attack the holy land Mariajoy, where not only the naval headquarters is stationed, but also P.O., the Knights of God, and 5 elders. Closing square bracket. With the size of the revolutionary army at that time, wanting to attack the holy land Mariajoy to rescue Ginny is tantamount to committing suicide. I believe that Long is definitely loyal, but as the leader of the revolutionary army, he will never sacrifice the lives of all the revolutionary soldiers to save Ginny. Closing square bracket. Faced with such a thing, everyone can do nothing. 2. Alas, those celestial dragons are damned. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Emporio Ivankov. This is such a painful memory that I don't want to recall. Monkey D. Dragon. Alas. It's all because I was too weak at the time and didn't have the ability to rescue my revolutionary comrades who were captured by celestial dragons. Bartholomew Kuma. No, Dragon, it's not your fault. The only thing to blame is those celestial dragons. Ginny. That's right, Dragon, you don't need to feel guilty about this. Rox D. Zebek. Tisk tisk tisk. Even the commander of the Eastern Army of the Revolutionary Army could not escape the fate of being snatched back by celestial dragons. It can only be said that it is worthy of the style of those beasts. John. The woman that Bartholomew Kuma had been reluctant to touch for decades was snatched back by celestial dragons and became their plaything. How pitiful. Silver Axe. Damn, this kind of thing has long been common in this sea. As long as the celestial dragons have set their eyes on something, whether it is treasure or women, it is absolutely impossible to escape their clutches. Akoku. To be honest, sometimes I really can't tell whether we pirates are the villains or the celestial dragons are the villains. Sakazuki. Haha, I think you are all bad guys. Monkey D. Garp. The celestial dragons do take advantage of their status to do evil and do whatever they want. God has long been unhappy with those guys. Gal D. Roger. The rule of the celestial dragons is completely brutal and inhumane. One day they will be overthrown. Edward Newgate. Gulala, but these don't seem to be things that we pirates should care about. Kaido. The rule of the celestial dragons has nothing to do with Lousy anyway, they don't dare to interfere with Lousy now. Charlotte Linlin. Well, after all, as long as you have enough strength, even the celestial dragons can't do anything to you. Inside the viewing screen, the video continued to play. Since Ginny was captured by celestial dragons, there was no smile on Shang's face anymore. He devoted himself to the cause of the revolutionary army. Like a tireless and numb machine, he kept rushing to countries that needed the revolutionary army, helping them to resist and liberate. It seemed that only this kind of non-stop life and fighting could make him completely lack the energy to think about Ginny. Time passed like this for almost 2 years. One day, the headquarters of the Revolutionary Army suddenly received a call. And the person who made this call was Ginny. As soon as they received the news, Shang, Long and Ivankov rushed to the Den Den Mushi. On the other end of the Den Den Mushi, a female voice that sounded very weak came out slowly. Hey, Bear, I'm back to the Netherworld. I'm sick, so they said they don't want me anymore. Just throw me away. Lucky. Ginny's voice sounded very weak, but she kept talking to everyone in a casual tone. Although I really want to see you guys. But I'm calling this. I'm here to say goodbye to you. Everyone was very surprised to hear Ginny's words. And Ginny's weak voice continued to come from the other end of the phone. I'm sorry. Quote. I'm going to die soon. I'm glad you wanted to see me. But don't come. When he heard this, Bear had already turned around and ran out without hesitation. Long and Ivankov just wanted to stop him. But they only heard Bear let out an anxious roar. There's only one place she can go back to. Get out of the way. The voice fell. The ability of the meatball fruit was activated. The bear disappeared instantly, and in the Den Den Mushi, Ginny's voice continued to sound. Chapter 113 Between Love and Hate, he chose to embrace love without hesitation. Cheeto. Too kind bear, I'll leave you here. When Ginny said this, Bear had already used the ability of the meatball fruit to launch himself into the air. He instantly disappeared from the spot, and in the Den Den Mushi, Ginny's weak voice continued to come out. I've always loved you so much. The weak voice was full of Ginny's endless love for Bear. This was also the last sentence Ginny left in this world. Righto. Bear had already left anxiously. But he didn't hear Ginny's last confession to him at all. At this moment, Bear was rushing to the South Blue Souled Kingdom at the fastest speed. Because he knew, Ginny, who was driven out of the Holy Land Mariajoy, will definitely return to the place where they used to live together day and night. The church where they used to live. It's their home. It's also the only place Ginny can go at the moment. Righto. When Bear finally arrived at the fastest speed, Ginny was completely dead. She had a fatal disease called Jade Scales. This was a terminal illness even rarer than platinum lead disease. After contracting this disease, the body would gradually turn blue. The skin would become as hard as scales. Exposure to natural light would accelerate the onset of this disease. When Ginny was found, her body was already covered with blue scales. Her life force was completely gone. And in Ginny's arms, she was still holding a baby tightly. It was a little girl with pink hair. Several old people who had been helped by the bear were guarding Ginny's body. When they saw the bear coming, several old people said with tears in their eyes, Ginny wanted the child to survive in case of an accident. She managed to cross the sea that was inevitably exposed to the sun. She came back here after a narrow escape. Hearing these words from the old people, Bear held Ginny's body tightly in his arms. He had already burst into tears and couldn't speak. After a while, he carefully touched the baby girl in his palm. Bear knelt down in front of the cross of the church. Looking at the crying baby girl in his palm, he whispered, Ginny, don't worry, I will raise this child. Although he knew that this child was not his own. But in the other's body, Ginny's blood was flowing. This was what Ginny was still desperately protecting at the last moment of her life. Now Ginny has passed away. Bear decided to continue to protect this child for Ginny. In the days that followed, Bear took on the role of Bonnie's father. He had no experience in raising children. He could only carefully explore and learn under the guidance of a group of old men and women. And under Bear's careful care, little Bonnie also began to grow up day by day. Soon she grew into a very cute little girl. She was very similar to Ginny back then. Bear ran back and forth between carrying out the tasks of the Revolutionary Army and taking care of Bonnie. Although it was hard, but he also lived a very fulfilling and happy life. Especially when little Bonnie called Bear, Dad, for the first time. Bear, who was nearly 7 meters tall, burst into tears on the spot. He just felt that everything he did was worth it. He poured all his unspoken love for Ginny into Bonnie without reservation, even doubling it. There is no doubt, before he knew it, Bonnie had become the most important person in his life. The picture freezes here. The army of barges passed by again. Wow, 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 I feel like I peed in my eyes. Too cruel. This is too cruel. Shang and Ginny didn't even have time to see each other for the last time, and they were separated by the yin and yang. Even Ginny's final confession was not heard because she was in a hurry to get on the road. Damn, this paragraph really made Lousy cry. Fortunately, Ginny left behind Bonnie, who became Shang's new spiritual sustenance. Closing square bracket. Although this child is not Bear's own, Bear obviously treats Bonnie as his own daughter. Bonnie is the child of the person Bear loves the most and the person Bear hates the most, and between love and hate, Bear chose to embrace love without hesitation. It's a pity. When I think of Ginny being defiled by those damn celestial dragons, I'm so angry. Ginny was defiled by celestial dragons, and Bonnie is not Bear's biological daughter. This is still a big problem, which makes people feel uncomfortable. Yes, but there is nothing we can do about it. This world is so cruel. You say, Ginny was captured and defiled by celestial dragons, why didn't she commit suicide to preserve her innocence? Is there any need to ask this? It must be because she wants to see Bear again. If she commits suicide, she will never be able to see her beloved Bear again. Closing square bracket. But as long as she is still alive, she has hope that she can hold on until the day she reunites with the Bear. I guess it was the obsession of wanting to reunite with the Bear that made Ginny hold on in that hell for so long. Before Bonnie was born, this should be the only spiritual support for Ginny to survive. It's just a pity Ginny still didn't get to see the big bear for the last time. This is really hard to accept. It's too cruel. Damn. Celestial dragons should be damned. Damn celestial dragons, give me back Ginny. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Gilder Tesoro. That's right. Celestial dragons should be damned. My Stella was also captured by celestial dragons in the past, and she never came back. Rox D. Zebek. Tisk 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 tisk. I have to say that Bartholomew Kuma's psychological endurance is really strong. He is actually willing to raise the child born by Ginny and celestial dragons. John. With such a big cuckold on his head, he can still raise the little girl named Bonnie so attentively. This is indeed not something that ordinary people can do. Silver Axe. If it were me, I would have strangled that celestial dragon's BD to death. Bartholomew Kuma. You are not allowed to call Bonnie a BD. She is my daughter, not a BD. Jewelry Bonnie. Dad, Ginny, Bear, thank you for taking care of Bonnie so attentively after my death. Skirchiman Apu. It turns out that Jewelry Bonnie, the Big Eater, of the same Supernova pirate as us, is actually the daughter of Bartholomew Kuma. Arouge. I really didn't expect that she actually has such a special identity. Basil Hawkins. Come to think of it, the time seems a bit short. This scene in the video happened 9 years ago, which means, how old should Jewelry Bonnie be this year? X Drake. But the Jewelry Bonnie we know, it seems that she is obviously not only 9 years old, right? Capone Beige. Have you forgotten? Jewelry Bonnie is Paramesha, the user of the Sway Sway fruit, who can change the age of others or herself at will. Worker. Trafalgar Law. So, even now, Jewelry Bonnie's real age is actually only 9 years old, but she has turned herself into an adult through the power of the Sway Sway fruit. Kira. The Big Eater, who is a supernova pirate like us, is actually just a 9-year-old girl. Eustace Kid. Lousy's bounty is not much higher than that of a 9-year-old girl. This is really embarrassing. Monkey D. Luffy. She's already a supernova pirate like us at the age of 9. This guy named Bonnie is really amazing. Rorano Azoro. Tisk, a 9-year-old girl can become a supernova pirate, but a 19-year-old curly-browed cook can't. This is really embarrassing. 1. Vinsmoke Sanji. Green Algae Head, who the hell are you looking for here? Believe it or not, I will kick you to death. Rorano Azoro. Haha, shameful. Vinsmoke Sanji. Idiot Green Algae Head, you are going too far. Inside the viewing screen, the video continues to play. Under the careful care of the bear, Bonnie gradually grew up day by day. Righto. This plain and happy life did not last long. One day, the bear suddenly found, under Bonnie's right eye, a blue stone-like scales has grown out. This blue stone, it is exactly the same as the blue stone on Ginny's body when she died. The bear who discovered this abnormality understood it instantly. Bonnie is unfortunately suffering from the same terminal illness as Ginny. This sudden situation made the bear feel extremely heavy. After careful consideration, the bear found Long and Ivankov, and told them that he planned to withdraw from the Revolutionary Army. Use the remaining time to take care of and accompany Bonnie wholeheartedly. In response, Long did not stop him, and said that the Revolutionary Army would also help the bear visit doctors around the world. Try to find a way to cure Jade Scales. After that, the bear returned to the church in the kingdom of South Blue Soul, and began to take care of and accompany Bonnie wholeheartedly, in order to avoid the sun's exposure to accelerate the onset of Bonnie's illness. The bear also sealed all the windows in the church, and patiently told Bonnie countless times, "Let the other party not run outside." For these words of his father, Bonnie was very sensible and obeyed very well. Although he could not play freely outside like other children, his father's company made Bonnie feel extremely satisfied and happy. During the time he spent with Bonnie, Bear began to learn to be like his father. He told Bonnie about the legend of the liberation warrior, sun god Nika. This made Bonnie also yearn for and admire the sun god Nika. Bear would often ask Bonnie where he would like to go after he recovered from his illness. Whenever this happened, Bonnie would tell him many places he had seen in books, such as Sky Island and the Fishman Island. In such expectations, life seemed to become less boring and tedious. But not long after, Bear received a desperate news from a doctor. Your daughter's condition is a difficult disease called jade scales. In recent years, I have rarely heard of anyone suffering from this disease. Whether it is sunlight or moonlight, all natural light will increase the number of such stones. But even if you completely block natural light, the condition will still continue to worsen over time. I'll be frank, your daughter can only live for another 5 years at most. Maybe she won't even live until her 10th birthday. There is no feasible treatment for this disease at the moment. Shang was struck by lightning when he heard the news. His mood suddenly sank to the bottom again. How could this happen? Bonnie has grown up to be lively and cute. Is there really no cure at all? Shang sent the doctor away with a heavy heart. When he opened the door and returned home, he found that Bonnie, who should have been asleep, had woken up. And the other party had heard the word, 10 years old, mentioned by Shang in the previous conversation with the doctor. Bonnie threw herself on Shang and asked curiously, I heard you say 10 years old. Huh, have you cried? Were you talking about me just now? When asked by Bonnie, Shang was a little flustered. He answered hesitantly, plus, Bonnie, about your illness. The doctor said that your illness cannot be cured before the age of 10. I felt a little heavy when I heard that I had to wait so long. Bonnie was very excited to ask, Lightite, when I turn 10, my illness will be cured. Then I can go on a trip with my dad. Looking at Bonnie's curious and expectant expression, the bear really couldn't bear to tell the other party the cruel truth in reality. So he could only nod and respond, of course, your illness will be cured when you turn 10. Bonnie cheered and jumped for joy when he heard this answer. That's great. The picture freezes here. The army of barges passed by again. Alas, I didn't expect Bonnie to have the same terminal illness as Ginny. The same terminal illness actually took away the lives of the 2 women that Bear loved most in his life. Isn't this too cruel for Bear? Bear is so gentle and kind, why do such unfortunate things happen to him one after another? Is this the so-called hemp ropes only break at the thinnest part, and misfortune only finds the unfortunate? It's really unfair. Why is God so unfair? Oh, it's normal for God to be unfair. After all, God.is. Hey, girl, go to. Puff, God. God.is. Hey, girl, what a shame. Lousy smiled inexplicably. Yeah, such a sad atmosphere was directly broken by the sentence, God.is. Hey, girl, from the upper floor. I have been brewing emotions for a long time, and they were all gone in an instant. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Tony Chopper. The terminal illness, jade scale. This disease really has no viable treatment until now. Trafalgar Law. If I use the power of my op fruit, it should be possible to cure it. Monkey D. Luffy. What? Bonnie can't live past 10, but she's already 9 this year. Rorano Azoro. Does that mean Bonnie only has less than a year left to live? Vinsmoke Sanji. No, how can such a lively and cute little girl die like this? Nami. I say, can you guys use your brains before you speak? The doctor in the video said that Bonnie can't live past 10 even if she doesn't come into contact with natural light. Usopp. But Bonnie is now a pirate and has become one of the supernovas. She doesn't seem to be afraid of natural light at all. Nico Robin. This means Bonnie's terminal illness has been completely cured, and there is no need to worry about the threat of natural light to her. 2. Tony Chopper. What? Even a terminal illness like jade scales can be cured. It's amazing. I really want to know how they did it. Shit.